Let's get down to business. Do. All right, where am I here? Somewhere in this mess of scenes. Hey, is that me? That's me. Let's get down to business. Man, I've got that totally stuck in my head. I got. Yeah, whatever, Vibe Pop. I'm on time for once. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I actually had a lovely afternoon chatting with an old friend of mine who is a first AD who I'm actually going to have. She's going to come and talk to us about making movies at some point. But yeah, I had a lovely chat with her. And so, time wise, I was pretty good. Cal! The fabulous Cal Rear, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous, the talented, the genius, Cal Rear. Who's just subscribed again for some unknown reason. I don't really know why. Paperclips is back too. Hello, Paperclips. Little smiley faces and clapping hands and things. Hello, everyone. Who we got in here? So Wolfpup was like total keener in here, nice and early. Wolfpup, you got like a business for us? You got something to sell us? Anquiitis. Hello. Mr. McKay YT. Hey. Alicia Lauren. Laura Parker. Go for Fluffer Night. Hello. Gervais 60. Paperclips have said hello. Go for Fluffernut. Hello, everybody. That's enough. That's enough. Draw sticks. I like that. Good afternoon to you. Miss Lovely Plow. Miss Lovely Plow. Quite like that. Priesty. What? Is that Prize TDK? Is that Prize TDK? I don't know, something like that. A voice cries out, hello, everyone. Love you all. Look at that. The love. It's love already. Love is in the air. Okay. What have I got going? What have I got going here? Did I set up my... If I set up this. What's that? I don't want that. Did I set up the other channel? Let me just have a look. I think I set up the other computer. Let me have a look. Oh, it keeps doing this nonsense. All right, okay. No, I don't want that. Will it just stop asking me these things now? Let's see. We'll see what happens. So I should have a... I think I've got the other computer rigged up. I don't really need to be on the other computer, but I like to make sure it works every now and again. Well, that's not right. I want it to output to... I don't want that, do I? I want to output it to its own little stream. Can I do that? If I do this... Oh, not now. If I do this full screen preview to that will probably be better, I think. If it stays that way. But it likes to... That computer likes to sort of rearrange itself every so often. All right. Business. Let's get down to business. Where am I? There you go. I guess I don't really need that up all the time. It's nice to have. Can I change the... I can change the windows on that, can't I? I can. Check this out. So I've got my little setup here, which means I can change windows by doing this. So there you go. That's a better one, probably. So that's the stuff I've been playing with. I've got an iron. The iron, which actually... While it didn't work perfectly, worked a hell of a lot better than I expected it to. I heated up a board and pulled out some components and was able to salvage components in a way that I had not been able to do before with that, just with that iron. So I'm going to work on trying to get it a little hotter because it's been pointed out that it probably needs to be a bit hotter. If I can, we'll see if it'll even do it. And then beside it is the other thing I'm playing with. I'm just looking for lasers. Just trying to find some lasers to play with, because we do this TechBandits thing, which I absolutely love, with these very, very brilliant friends of mine who are professors of biology and deal with entomology and spiders and all sorts of stuff. Anyways, this lovely couple. If I bag of chips, what's with my glasses? I gotta get my glasses right. Bag of Chips' parents, actually. Anyways, point being that we do this laser spiders thing, which I just love, where we shine lasers at spiders, and those lasers are attached to laser vibrometers, and you can actually hear it turns the movement of the spiders and their webs into sound. It sounds like it's like spider death metal, as I call it. So I just wanted to see if there was a way of avoiding having to have this incredibly bulky, expensive laser vibrometer, because I kind of wanted to open it up to everybody. Like I love the idea of having some instructions on how to build your own little sort of, I'm probably not as sensitive, obviously, laser vibrometer, but I imagine you could get something that could convert light into sound with it, especially if there's some kind of a photodiode in the actual laser itself or rigged up properly. I mean, I have laser distance sensors that work pretty well. They're not, I don't think they're sensitive enough to actually get spider movement, but or web movement. But you know, I'm curious to see if there's a cheaper way of doing it. That or hitting up some laser company, some laser technology company, and saying like, "Hey, do you want to give us a laser vibrometer?" So I could do it at home. But luckily, as I say, I've got brilliant friends who are university professors, so they have access to a lot of equipment that, of course, I would not have. So, Macaroon Granola is a creative guy, aspiring documentary playwright for the theater. Do you have any advice about the theater? Well, that's an interesting sort of like almost segue into our jobs discussion. Let me pull in my Discord. Actually, before I pull in the Discord, let me say this. Hang on 2 seconds, Macaroon Granola. Good question. So today, what I wanted to do was sort of touch on business. The idea of how do you find something that you like doing and get paid for it? And when you find out, tell me. I was very, very lucky because when I was 13 or 14 years old, I discovered that you could make films, even though most people said that you couldn't. And as a result, I'm an actor professionally now. I get to do this all the time. I work with friends, and we get to work with lots of amazing people, and that is entirely because as kids we played with making movies, and we made movies, and we got in early, if that makes sense. So one of my dreams with Tech Bandits is that maybe we could find not necessarily the acting bug, but a science or technology, or acting as well, even but find something that people are interested in, and figure out how they can make some money doing it. Because once you find something you like doing, there's nothing better than getting paid for it, I've got to say. I mean, I've somehow managed to master it with acting, but now I need to master it with Tech Bandits. But luckily I have the acting to cover that. But all right. Polite Canuck is doing that now, currently an unemployed bum in an industry in the midst of massive layoffs. Yeah, no, if you're in the tech industry, then yes, absolutely. Again, another reason to find something that you like doing and perhaps generating your own work. Because one of the frustrating things about, certainly with acting, I find is that I'm constantly beholden to someone else to come up with work for me, right? You don't just sort of go like, I'm going to act today and someone will pay me for it. Oh, I suppose you could start a YouTube channel, that kind of stuff. So we'll discuss all of these things. I'm a writer. It pays intermittently. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is freelancing is, people think that freelancing is less secure in some ways, but if you get laid off, it ain't secure either. So, hey, David, was watching an episode of The Suits the other day and saw you were in Bossing It Around Harvey Specter. Yes, exactly. There you go. So I just play businessmen on television. I don't know that I'm not sure I've got any business skills. My business skills involve pretending to have business skills. All right, let me get rid of this other window. Let's get rid of that, shall we? Okay, and let's bring in the Discord. We're bringing in the Discord, folks. Let me just look around this here. Where is everybody? Anybody around? Who we got here? Where are you, bandits? Oh, I'm in the wrong damn stream as always. I'm always like that. Hello, Vibe Pup.
I have very fun news that
You've
might
got
go with tech.
I lost you for a second there. Try to run that by me again.
I have very fun news that might go really well with Tech Bandits.
Really? What's that?
We have the science fair.
Oh, you got a science fair.
And, the Crunch Labs that you gifted?
Yes.
Me and a friend, we're gonna do that and do that as our science fair projects.
Oh, fantastic. Which project is it?
I think we're gonna do the animation, the strobe light animation one.
Oh, neat. You have to do
We're
warnings.
gonna try to do
You
that.
have to do like
Yeah, I feel like we're just gonna like put a little like warning that
there are flashing lights. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, okay, so just so people know what's going on, explain to them what Crunch Labs is. What the deal on Crunch Labs is.
Crunch Labs is a box that Mark Rober made, and
Mark Rober, very famous YouTuber. Check him out if you haven't already.
Yeah, he makes very cool videos, and
cool.
He explains them.
He's really good at that, I gotta say. Like it just makes stuff interesting and also understandable.
Yeah. And he makes this little box that comes monthly. I had to get rid of the box because it was getting too expensive, but...
Do you need another... Do you need us to up another...
No.
Yeah, okay, right. You were saying you don't have time to get to them all anyways, right?
Yeah. And it comes monthly, and it's a very cool box that has, like, science and engineering in it, and it's just very cool because it gives you a video that like teaches you how it works, like, and explains the principles, and it's just a very cool in general.
I put a link to the Mark Rober YouTube channel in there, but then it's also it was called, what do they call Crunch? They're Crunch Labs. That's right.
Crunch Labs. I'll send that link.
So Crunch Labs, what we did was I took some of the Tech Bandits money, which you find people have provided through subscriptions and Patreons and stuff. I took some of that and I signed ViPup up for the Crunch Labs kits for 6 months or something, and so they've been working through that, stuff, and I think you would say they were a success, but it was time was the issue, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I just do a bunch of stuff, and I don't want you to use your money if I'm not gonna like do it and like use it regularly.
Okay, no, that's totally fine. Totally fine. Could you buy them separately? Like, are there ones, like, could you say, like, I just want that one?
I don't think so.
Oh, so you have to sign up for an actual yearly thing in order to get the ones you want. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because it'd be kind of cool to go like, oh, I want to learn about this, and then just do that. Maybe you can. I haven't checked the website. I'll put that in the links as well, so people have got that as well. Actually, so you are gonna take a Crunch Labs. You're gonna build it with a friend, and are you gonna do your own take on it, or what? Or you're just gonna do the kit as it is? Are you like, how does that work?
So we had talked to the teacher, and she just said we can bring it in and explain why it works. We're gonna bring it in, and we're gonna build it.
Right.
So we're gonna build it in the class. I feel like it's gonna be a really cool project. So we might get a good grade on it.
That's great. So you'll walk through the whole thing with everybody and show them.
We're not going to show the building process. We're just going to show the finished products. Ooh. And we can like show it off.
Right. Oh, I see. Okay, so you'll show them the finished product, and can you shoot some footage of building it? Because
no, because it's in school.
Crap. Of course, stupid school. I've got a Tech Bandits at our local community center on Friday. I'm actually wondering if maybe it's worth trying to kind of do a stream, sort of. Like, I wouldn't show anybody, but I could sort of pop in and out and say hi, or maybe we could just be voice, or I don't know, just so you can see what's going on. So that'd be kind of fun to see, because it's this community center downtown, like the Raptors support it and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, it just seems like a kind of a cool place. And so the hope was to have the pancake bot there. But there's like, with all these shipping delays and stuff, like I don't think it's going to be ready I don't think it's going to be there by Friday, which kind of sucks. So I think I'm going to be making pancakes and teaching 3D printing. That's two separate things. Instead of bringing the pancake bot, I'm going to bring pancake mix and a griddle, and we'll make pancakes by drizzling it in shapes on the griddle, just to show them how the pancake bot will work when we finally get it. And then I've got this 3D printer, so they can have a look at that stuff too. But that's great. So what is the science? Is this a science thing for your school, or is it a is it a nationwide science thing, or what is it?
I'm sorry if I cut you off, but my headphones are not working. I cannot hear anything. I'm going to quickly leave the Discord and try to figure that out.
All right. Okay. All right. You do it. All right. We got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. But that's an interesting take here on the business side of stuff, is that Mark Rober works for NASA, engineer, starts doing a YouTube channel, and then basically creates these amazing videos, creates an amazing sort of community around these videos of sort of makers and this wonderful sort of ability he has to explain how things work and get excited about them and get other people excited about them. And he'll do things like squirrel mazes and all these. I mean, he did this glitter bomb thing where he would catch people from stealing things off of the pirates from stealing stuff off his porch by creating these crazy inventions and stuff. So, and then he went on, and I'm seeing this more and more with YouTubers now, where maybe they're not making enough money on YouTube, or maybe they just, I don't know, maybe there's just opportunities available to them because YouTube is doing so well for them. They then start their own businesses, and his business is this thing called Crunch Labs, and they sell these kits, and they're just really fun. I wanted to try them out, so VibePup very kindly volunteered to accept the kits and build them and give me a little review about what he liked and didn't like about them. So appreciated that. But I just thought that was kind of interesting. Again, from a business perspective, I guess I'd be curious to know, like, if was Mark Rober when he was at NASA, or my friend Josiah Zahner, who was at NASA as well, who they decided to leave NASA to do their own thing. And I feel like if you can find something that you enjoy that much, like you enjoy more than being at NASA, like that's pretty freaking cool. You know, if you could find something like that and then figure out how to get paid for it, I feel like that would be like the perfect existence, if that makes sense. Like, there's never enough money, there's never enough time, I admit. But at the same time, I just think the idea of having like a little job that you enjoy doing, that you run, that you're in charge of it yourself and all that kind of stuff. I've always had a fantasy about that kind of stuff. And I've run a couple of businesses in my time. None of them very well, I'm afraid. I don't really have a head for that sort of stuff, I don't think. But, you know, I ran an internet consulting firm for film and television companies back in the, I don't even know when, in the late 90s, early 2000s. I don't even know where. I tried doing, I had a little programming company that I did some programming for these telecommunications applications and stuff. Just little scripting things that I did. Anyways, but my issue was always I always struggled with the organization, the business side of these things. The inspiration side I never lacked. I was always excited about something I was working on. And was usually pretty good at convincing people that it was exciting because I was excited about it. But the actual business and the follow through and all that stuff, I was terrible at. And maybe it's an ADHD thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just an acting thing. But I just I enjoyed the work, but I didn't enjoy the work of the work, if that makes sense. I didn't enjoy all that other side of stuff. But I'm sort of excited to see the YouTubers out there who are creating companies around. Like, they create an audience and then they create a company, and all of a sudden they don't just have an audience, they have customers, and then they have products to sell and services to sell. And I just think there's something really very, very cool about that. VibePup.
I am back. Yes. Hello.
Do you do any business stuff at school? Is there business at all at school?
No, not at all.
Do you have any interest in business? Is it something that you sort of go like, oh, I want to be a billionaire? I want to be like Elon Musk or something? Or do you have any of those sort of like, or is it YouTubers? When you think of like the perfect job, what do you think of?
Probably like streaming or YouTube. I just feel like YouTube would be a bit too annoying because I'm gonna have to like edit and stuff, and I don't feel like I have the patience for that.
But if you had the money to if you were to set up a YouTube channel and hire someone to do the editing, would you like that?
I mean, if I had the money, then yeah, but
because I feel like a lot of YouTubers, they start by doing everything themselves, and then eventually the really successful ones seem to start getting into hiring people to do specific things to help them out, right?
They do start. I've seen a lot of people doing their own editing, and their videos take really long to come out.
Right. I mean, boy, it's time consuming. It can be, I mean, one of the advantages of live streaming is you can just go live and start talking. But I've always felt that, hey, thank you, Taco Stuff. God, just can't lose with tacos, I gotta say. Tacos, I just saw Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Ha! You're welcome for destroying the planet. You're welcome. Thank you very much, Taco Stuff. Yeah, I've seen. I know that Gimpy G, if he joins us, can speak to this too, because he worked with Moist Critical and was saying that Moist Critical has a whole, like, he's got companies, he's got businesses, he's got consulting. Like one of his like consulting jobs, and if I'm wrong, forgive me, but the sense I got was that one of the things that Moist Critical did as a YouTuber was he got hired by people like in film and television, or people who wanted to start channels on YouTube, and then he would be hired to help them create, a channel and stuff, which just seems kind of cool. So what's involved in, so if you were to start YouTube as a business, what's involved in that? What would you have to do? I'm trying to think the list of stuff you would need for that. You need an idea.
Can you say that again? I was reading a comment in the chat and my brain was putting it together.
Well, I just like, what do you need to do a YouTube channel? Like, what are the like requirements? Like, you don't
Computer.
actually. Okay.
Something able to do software, like to edit and stuff. Do you mean to just like become a YouTuber, or like become a big YouTuber?
I mean, I guess you wouldn't need much to start, right? I mean, isn't that kind of the appeal to it, that there's not a lot of, like, you don't have to buy a ton of equipment, right?
You just need to have one that, I feel like if I'm watching a YouTube channel, it's like really, really low quality. Like I'm gonna say like lower than 720. I don't want to watch that. I feel like you need one.
I definitely find if the sound's bad, I struggle. Like if they're like talking into an iPhone and I can't understand what they're saying, I'm out. I'm like, unless it's something, that I just have to learn about and it's the only place I can find it. I find that sound is, I find this with auditions though too. Like auditions, both as someone who does auditions and someone who's had to watch auditions for casting and stuff, I definitely think that in some cases, sound is almost more important than picture. Like if it's lousy sound, it's irritating and there's like background noise and you're having a hard time understanding people. That drives me nuts, McKay's girl wants to encourage my son to have a popular YouTube channel. However, I have also told him to have something to fall back into. If someone is doing this all by themselves, it will take time to build your fan base. Yes. Yeah. Cranky Old Dude says the sound is big too. It's interesting because I think, Five Pup, are you still streaming?
Yeah, once in Blue Moon. I have been texting to friends a lot, and I don't want to like bring friends onto stream.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because you just don't know if it's
what
not.
They're gonna say.
Yeah, and if it's not their channel, I feel like
they don't care. They're just gonna randomly like blurt some very offensive thing.
Right. Yeah. It's like Gimpy G, basically. He's got nothing to lose, so he just comes in here. No, I think it's one of those things that I think I saw that with Baz as well when Baz was streaming, that he was concerned. He was always a little bit nervous because it's a control thing too, right? You want to be in control of your own stream, right? I find streaming a bit nerve-wracking because you just never know what's going to happen. So there's always that sort of element of sort of surprise behind it, which as a control freak like myself, it took me a while to come around to it. Now I love it. It's a bit like theater, same thing. And now we had a question actually about theater that I should probably go back up and do. All right. Let's have a look at this. There was a question from the Macaroon Granola, which is just a great name. Where is that? Did we find it? Did I miss it? Have I missed it already? Okay, aspiring documentary playwright for the theater. Advice about the theater. The theater, I mean, I started in theater. That's what I began in theater. I assumed that that's probably what I was going to do in that for those 2 years that I was doing plays at school. I always did theater. I always loved theater. I don't anymore. I've got to say, I find myself, I get way too anxious now to do plays, but I started in theater, at the same time that I was making little films with friends. So, but it's the thing about theater is you've got to have time for theater because you've got to dedicate a huge amount of time. What with rehearsals and then when the play's on and it is a much bigger commitment of time and usually does not pay as well. So if I have any advice on theater, it'd be like, if you want to earn money, I'd go into film. film and TV, because basically there's generally more work, and it pays quite well. But that said, I'm talking about Canada. I'm talking about Toronto, Canada, where I don't know whether you could earn a living doing theater in Toronto. I know there are people who do, and I think you probably could. But I feel like as an actor, you almost want to broaden your horizons to everything, if that makes sense. The more things you can earn money doing, the better as an actor. So obviously, the more skills you have, the better. I mean, I'm very envious of people who have multiple languages, who could sing, who can dance, who have extra skills and stuff. My only special ability is to pretend to be smart and to talk fast. So or be a jerk, or both at the same time. Sometimes at the same time, it's amazing, and sometimes chewing gum at the same time. So if I make any suggestion to you about being an actor in theater, it would be to branch out from just theater and get yourself into some film and television stuff, and also look into YouTube and the TikToks and the social media side of stuff, because the bigger an audience you can generate for yourself, the more value you have coming into any production you do, whether that be a theater production or being a film production. If you've got an audience, a demonstrable audience, you're just more likely to get. It's just one more reason to cast you. If I've got two actors who are absolutely wonderful, both of them, and I find out one of them's got 5,000 followers on Twitter, and the other person doesn't like social media, you can't help but think maybe the people who have the audience would be the way to go. So I mean, and again, I take this advice with a grain of salt. It's been a very, very long time since I've done theater. I don't know how theater works anymore. I do miss doing monologue auditions, I must say. I used to love doing that. Absolutely loved it. Because it's just, that to me is the ultimate in acting, is being able to stand there and just spout these beautiful lines. It's wonderful. I'm excited for you, I must say. But yeah, from the getting started standpoint, I think look for other angles into the industry, because anything you can do to distinguish yourself as different from the rest of the bunch of people who are the herd heading towards hoping for fame and fortune, I think anything you can do there helps. And obviously the more films you're involved in, the more theater you're involved in, the more people the more chance there is that will generate work for you. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's a rough idea about that. I follow several of my favorite actors, which makes me want to see more of their work. Oh, good. Perfect. See, there you go. So if watching me babbling incessantly here helps, one more person show up at a theater gig or a film that I'm in, or a TV show that I'm on, or something like that. I mean, I think that's, there's I guess a value to that for producers and stuff. And at some point I should bring Jane down, because Jane is my wife, and she's just a brilliant, well, she's just brilliant. Let's face it. She married me. I mean, she's got to be brilliant. But when it comes to film and her take on how she ends up casting things and stuff would probably be invaluable to people as well. I'd worked as an engineer, saved up some money. I got the safety net first, mechanical engineering degree, savings, and then had the opportunity to pursue my own thing via YouTube. Oh, that's great. True Game Data Live. Okay, so True Game Data, you're streaming? Do you want to, what are you streaming? Should we let you share that with people? Is that safe? Is that safe, Cal? Am I allowed to do that, Cal?
I mean, you kind of already just gave him a shout out, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. But I don't mind putting a link out there as well if they want to. So, Peter Def YT, hello to you. Cal's just giving me a grumpy look. Who wants to work on free BSD with me? Wow. What's Mark Lapointe up to? Hi, Mark. How are you, buddy? So let me watch. C, loved it. Your character as well. You loved my character? Man, I'm scared of you. He was creepy. Okay. So Vipop, going back. So all right. So True Game Data Live has a YouTube channel because they have gone to school. They've got their mechanical engineering. They've got themselves some a good education. They've saved up some money so they can now go and do YouTube. I always say this to Baz, who I don't think wants to do this anymore. But when he did want to do it, I said, get started now while you're at home at school. because like put in some work now, because the advantage of that is that you don't have all this overhead that you'll have when you're on your own, right?
Yeah.
And if you can have an audience by the time you're going to university or you're going out on your own or starting your own company, stuff like that, obviously that's gonna help as well. But also, you're allowed to not like it. Like if you start doing YouTube and you're like, this doesn't really, then you shouldn't be afraid of saying like, yep, that's not for me. You know, I asked people for tips on business, and one of the great tips I got, hey, Summer Herc, thank you very much. One of the great tips I got, I think, was to embrace failure. I was talking to the Google guys the other day with Lance and Lawrence, who did the AI Stargate script a little while back, and they were saying that the guys at Google were saying that there is a 70% success rate at Google. That is what's demanded of them by their superiors. So basically, if they do better than 70% in what they have set out for themselves for that year, so if they achieve more than 70% of their goals in the year, they need to readjust their goals so they're harder. Because they don't think people should be doing better than 70% success. Because the failure, that 30% failure, is key to them being more successful. Isn't that neat? I was like, I can fail. I should get a job at Google. I'm great at failing. But I just thought that's kind of interesting that I think I'm certainly, like, I see every path that I've gone down in my life and then haven't pursued or didn't work out or lost money or just gave up on or whatever. I see those as failures, and sometimes they sort of like hang heavy over my head. And what I'm learning more and more is that it's like, so what? You learned something, you decided that's not working for you, or that didn't work, or so you'll do it different next time. I mean, like, I think there's something very sort of exciting about that there should be no stigma to the idea that if you start a YouTube channel and it doesn't work, you could stop being a YouTuber or do a different YouTube channel. I mean, that's what's so great about YouTube is you could turn around and just create a new channel if you want to. What are you watching on YouTube now, Vipeup? Like, what are your favorite YouTube channels?
Memes. That's it.
Are you still on the memes?
And,
you're like the meme guy. You've been meme guy since I met you, and I haven't even met you yet.
Should I say they're like names?
If you want to, yeah.
Brendan Shepard. He does these.
Okay.
He does these really cool design stuff on YouTube, and it's just really cool to watch.
Brendan Shepard. All right. He's a designer?
Yeah, he uses Photoshop and stuff.
Oh, I love those. The videos that tell you how to do...
No, it doesn't... You can learn stuff on the way, but I was watching his videos, and he will take people's logos and make them better.
Oh, that is cool. All right, I'm going to share this. This is neat. So he's redone Captain Crunch. He's redone Kettle Chips. Oh, dude, that's brilliant. Because, yeah, it's really smart. That is really, I love that. Okay. Okay, good. See, I love it when I find new channel. This is why I do Tech Bandits, Vipup. So you can teach me shit. I mean, stuff. Ooh.
You forgot.
I did. I totally forgot. This is family friendly, kids. And you've never heard that word. I'm sorry. Let me explain it to you. Never mind. Okay, so that's the guy that Vipup is swearing about. He likes him so much he swore. Memes never get old. I remember. Well, could you do a channel of memes? That's not a meme. Like that Shepherd channel's not a meme, right? You don't call that a meme.
No, that's not a meme. He has funny stuff, but it's not meme.
You know, I had on my list of stuff to watch on YouTube, and I actually ended up paying for YouTube because I got so sick and tired of all the ads. And because when you get old, they try to sell you stupid things all the time. Like, I don't want denture cream just yet. I've still got some teeth. I don't want to get hair replacement. You know, I'm bald, whatever. You know, so I end up paying for YouTube, so I don't see a lot of the ads and stuff. But one of the things I had to get rid of was all of the accidents and the fails and the fail army and all that kind of stuff, because I could watch that forever. And I had to take every time it pops up in my feed now, I say, don't show me this, because otherwise I'm just watching poor people have car accidents or having fights or people falling off their motorcycles, or I just can't stop watching. It's like crazy addictive. But those aren't memes, though. Are they? Is that what you call a meme? How do you define a meme?
A quick funny video of just like funniest.
Oh, okay. So just funny short clips of people doing silly
like
things.
TikTok. Like TikTok has a bunch of memes.
Oh, see, Cal's got the same problem. So Cal wasted an hour of her time on Fail Army yesterday. And so they've done exactly the same thing that I've done, which is like, and so I literally, you have to right click on them and say, do not show me these. Otherwise, and I'm like a giggling, drooling idiot. I'm just like, he fell on his butt. Like I'll watch them forever. Like I never stop. Somehow I got YouTube Premium for free because of other things I get from Google. Really? I didn't know that. A meme to me is a picture or a GIF. Yeah, but there's like video memes, and that's what Baz likes as well. I would say, wouldn't you say TikTok is basically just memes? Just, isn't that for the most part?
Some of them are memes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I think I'm gonna regret saying this, but I like more of the like offensive memes.
You like offensive memes? Oh, that's great. That
like
doesn't. Yeah.
I like memes that would kind of like
edgy.
Not edgy, but I just kind of like ones that sometimes you'll like laugh at them, like, oh, yeah, I shouldn't have laughed at that.
Really?
But you still.
So they're funny because they make you uncomfortable, or because because you got to be careful on some of that stuff, though, don't you? I mean, like, I always worry, like, when Baz, I don't know, it's so hard. There's a joke about trying to explain something to an old guy like me or your parents, where the first thing that you do is you laugh and you say, hey, look at this, and then your parents will look at it and go like, why is that funny? And then you try to explain to them why it's funny, and they go, oh, and then they give you a lecture about why they don't think that should be funny.
That's happened to me several times.
Yeah, see, that's my son rolls his eyes before I even start now. But I worry, I guess I always worry about, I guess I want him to be the kind of person who will stand up to stuff that isn't right. Like, I don't want people making fun of people who have disabilities. I don't want people making fun of people of different religions and all that kind of stuff. So that's my, I don't want people making money off me watching stuff that might hurt people. I guess that's where because I just feel guilty. I don't think I'm a good person or anything. I just personally just feel guilty if that's the case. But you're saying, I guess I don't even want to know what you mean by an example of that. But like, will they make fun of like?
No, not really exactly making fun of people. But one second, I'm going to flip YouTube and I'm gonna say the stuff that is in my suggested.
Okay.
There's actually.
And where are you getting these suggested from? This is from YouTube, or this is from TikTok, or this is what are you on?
YouTube.
YouTube. All right. Yeah, YouTube. Although YouTube is weird for me. Like I'm definitely finding that I'm beginning to cultivate YouTube, so I'm beginning to get the stuff that I want. I am so jealous of anybody who's earning a great living as a YouTuber. I just think, like, the guys who get to go in and talk about, like, nuclear fission and go and meet with, like, tech companies and talk to them about stuff. If there was a way I could do that and earn a living, you would never see me on television again. I would happily be on YouTube every day doing that stuff. I just think it's the coolest. Just exploring science stuff forever and get paid enough to earn a living and send my kid to school and feed the family and be able to afford the odd, buble, or coffee once in a while. That's, that would be ideal to me. If the tech, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Say, I went on YouTube and I clicked the first one.
Okay.
And it's mainly just like making fun of like brands. Is this one?
Oh, okay.
This one is saying like McDonald's employee using the cosmic power of the universe to somehow mess up. It doesn't say mess up. I am being family friendly. An order of 2 things, and it's just like a video with music of
people
like,
screwing up orders.
No, it's in the video. It's basically just this like dude, and then just like random stuff exploding.
See,
And then the next one I found is boppity bippity. Your breathing is now a conscious activity. It's just
Oh,
random. It's
oh,
just a
that's
random meme.
interesting. So if you get, that's true though. If you talk about breathing or talk about eye contact, that's the other thing. Talk about making eye contact with someone and you can never look them in the eyes again. You ever tried that? Like someone who's not
Yeah.
like your like family member. I always find that like you'll have a conversation about like it's really important to make eye contact, and I'm always like, yeah, yes, it is. Once they've said it, it's almost impossible for me not to look them in the eyes or to not look them in the eyes. All right. I personally think you have to do what it takes to really do this in the content creation universe. You are coming across as a very real person and not patronizing your community, and that is a very good thing I find rare in many streamers these days. Oh, thank you very much, cranky old dude. Well, it's because cranky old dude and I are both cranky old dudes. That's why. That's why we get along so well. Yeah, the funny thing that I'm noticing, and I don't know if you've noticed this or not, Vibe Pup, but like, is that the channels of people doing stuff on YouTube, I feel like they're constantly having to provide, like, they got to constantly be filming stuff. Otherwise, they lose their market share and then they're in trouble, right? I mean, like, isn't it kind of like like, I'd be worried it's a bit of a treadmill, isn't it?
It kind of looks like it.
Doesn't it? Like, I feel like it'd be like, oh my God, I'm going away next week, so I won't have a video. Oh my God, that means I won't have any viewers. And I won't, you know, like, I feel like there's almost like a, I know that Google has started to try to, Google and YouTube have started to try to, you know, talk about, oh, it's important to get a holiday and mental health and all this kind of stuff. But the reality is, it's a machine that needs to be fed all the time, right? Like there's this kind of fear that you're not creating, if you're not creating stuff all the time, that you're somehow missing out, or you're not, you know, you're not productive or something like that. I mean, I feel like it takes a certain type of person to be that organized and that disciplined to do regular content all the time. Would your content, so the memes that you're seeing, is it people just putting compilations of existing other videos together then basically?
Yeah, from the looks of it, it's just kind of like memes that they found on Discord.
But what are the rules for that? Like, can you just post anybody else's stuff?
I just think they say, I don't own these. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Huh. Yeah, Jade1459 is saying that it really depends on the kind of content YouTubers are putting out. A lot will pre-record videos for time off, at least in the gaming content I watch. Right, right. The funny thing about the gaming content, and I think you're struggling with this too, Vibe Pup, that Baz was finding, was that, again, he wants to play with his friends. And if he doesn't have friends who want to be streamers, it's difficult because, as Vibe Pup has said, you just don't know what they're going to do, what they're going to say. You know what I mean? It's not that you don't like your friends, you distrust your friends. It's just that it's not their channel, so it's not like there's not, you know, they don't want to worry about what they're going to say and what they got to do the way the person who runs the channel is, you know. And also you got to be careful because you don't want something recorded on the internet that's going to be there forever that you regret, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think people worry about making it easy themselves when they first start out as kids online, but I you know, again, I think everything, whenever I look at stuff that I've done in the past, it's always cringy to me. Whether it's film, TV, internet, whatever. Like it's like watching old movies and stuff of mine. Like not even old movies I've just done. I struggle to watch myself in. I just find it cringy. I just like, oh God, you know, like it's you know, so that yeah, there you go. Put an advert in your local paper. YouTube gamers wanted. I mean, I struggled with the idea of like maybe there was some way we could do like a Tech Bandits game, or like a Game Bandits thing, where you could have gaming streams and we could use the audience that we have to help streamers out and get them started and that kind of stuff. But I just don't know how you do it. You know what I mean? Like I guess like Baz was saying, it doesn't really help him, you know, for what he's doing when I raid him or whatever, because the people who are watching they don't want to watch. They're not there for gaming videos. They're there for, you know, the old Stargate guy. Right. You know, so a few people will stick around, but for the most part, obviously it's not the same kind of content. But science content. Well, okay, let me ask you this, Vibe Pup. Would there be any value in Like if you got hired to do video content, like if someone said, okay, I'll give you $20, $20 an episode, or I don't know, how much is what's fair? What do people get paid for an episode of a YouTube video if it's about something?
A big YouTuber?
Well, big YouTubers, I'm sure they get tons and tons of money. But I mean, when you're starting out, what do you think is like? Is it a minimum wage type thing, or would you do it for sponsorships?
You're not getting paid or anything. At the start, you're basically just trying to get people to watch. They are not there. They are not paying anything. They're just told they're watching the stream.
And how do you get people to watch your channel, would you say?
Well, when I actually found my most followers was actually when I was playing a smaller game that was big. So I think it is just like play games that people like want to watch but they can't. So like
That's interesting. So games that used to be popular that aren't anymore, that people don't have installed anymore, or what was the game? What was the game you were playing?
Teardown. A ton of people like came in and was watching, and I think it was just because they can't really watch it anywhere else because
nobody else is
playing. It's no longer as big as a game.
I found a business game, by the way.
You found a business.
It's a business simulation game. So you have to go in and start a business and run a business.
Building simulator.
It's literally like a building simulator, but it's like business. You have to like raise chickens and sell eggs and then do taxes and stuff. And I started the tutorial and it was something kind of cool about it, I gotta say. But
did you say you have to pay taxes?
Yeah, like literally, there's like an accounting section. I was like, oh my God, seriously? Like a real job like that? Just so you know, that's a no word on Twitch. What is? What's a no word?
I don't think Cal was talking to you.
Oh, no? Oh, really? Oh, okay. Replying to Mark Lapointe. Oh, where we go. Where's that? What's the word? What's the word? I read away. I want to look at the word. Isn't that awful?
See? You say it out loud.
What's the word? Anyways, okay. Okay, who wants to play a game where you have to work? Exactly, but that's the funny thing, Savage Rue. That's a great name too, by the way. Because you know what? Rue's a savage. They really are. Have you seen a kangaroo, man? They will take out a human being, you know? Bonjour from Quebec. Is it Libu or Ibu? I can't. Libu? I think it's Libu. McKay got me interested in science, and now I'm a computer engineer at a small company. The only girl. Shut the front door. Seriously? That's fantastic. I love your channel videos. I'm glad I found your Twitch channel. Thanks a lot. Oh, fantastic. Oh, see, that's cool. What's the company? What's the, what kind of computer stuff are you doing? I mean, I guess you maybe don't say what company it is, but maybe you could tell us what kind of stuff you're working on. Oh, I gotta say, that makes me feel very good. Yeah, thank you. That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad that my Stargate, that me having fun on Stargate has got you employed. I think that's fantastic. That is kind of neat. And also how freaking old I am that you watched me and then now you're a computer. I must be 1,000 years old. Vipup, how old am I?
See.
Very, very old. Okay, there's everything. There's a toilet simulator? No.
The internet says that you are 54 years old.
The internet is right. But the internet also says I'm a multimillionaire. If you look up like what they're worth or something, or how much money they like, yeah, how much? Find out how much I am. They'll say I'm really rich. I'm like,
2 million.
How much? What does it say?
I searched up David Hewlett net worth. It says 2 million.
Seriously? Oh.
Yeah. It also says that you are one of the richest celebrities.
I am?
Yeah.
Boy, that doesn't say much about celebrities. I feel very poor. I mean, poor is maybe a strong word, but you know what it is? It's the house. I think it's the house because we own the house. Well, not own the house. I still have a mortgage on it, but the house is in Toronto. The house prices have gone up a lot, so that probably helps. But wow, how does it even calculate that? How does it know? Is it watching me now? Does it know my bank account? What website are those stats? I know it's weird, isn't it, Captain Catherine? There's like a website out there you can look up. What is Vipup worth?
It says that your place of birth was. Should I say it?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
It says that your place of birth was Red Hill. Your birthday is April 18th.
Yep.
You
What
are
year?
male.
What year?
1968.
Very good. Okay, yeah.
It also knows how tall you are.
What does it say?
5'10".
Yes.
I'm
I'm actually 5'9.5". But yes,
it says that you are an actor, a screenwriter, a film director, and a business person.
I am? Well, that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this. They should say business failure. That's what they should say. Yeah.
The nationality is Canada, and it says
That's interesting because I'm Canadian, British, and American. So that's yeah, okay.
It wrote something about you. David Hewlett is an English-Canadian actor who has a net worth of $2 million. David Hewlett was born in Red Hill,
Surrey,
England. England, United States, and grew up in Canada. He was initially interested in pursuing a career in computing and spent most of his time focused on that. However, midway through high school, he began appearing in the Friends short films. He eventually dropped out of school to pursue dual careers in acting and computing. Is that true so far?
Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, if you count failing miserably in the computer side of stuff. I dabbled in it all the time. I wanted to be in business as a computer. I wanted to be a computer billionaire, but that didn't.
That did not work.
I was better at pretending to be smart than I was actually being smart.
He launched his own web firm.
Yep.
Darkly Media, and moderated an online film community he founded called FuseFilm.com.
Yeah. We tried to do like a film collective. That was a disaster too.
His design business supported his acting work until he began booking roles steadily. His profession.
It was more like the roles that I had were paying for the design firm. But yeah, okay. Yeah.
His professional career began with a guest starring on the TV show The Edison Twins in the mid-'80s.
That was my first job. Well, that's not my first. Was it my first job? That was my first professional job, I think. Yeah, it's my first professional job. The Edison Twins.
He then began adding film and television credits to his resume, including such projects as Pin, Street Legal, Kung Fu, The Legend Continues, Cube, Splice, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. He is most widely recognized for his co-starring roles on Traitors.
Co-starring? Well, yeah, I guess it's co-starring. Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah.
Traitors, not traitors. I am not speaking right today.
Yeah, that's like Traitors. That's like
Stargate Atlantis.
And Stargate co-star Stargate Atlantis. Excuse me? Freaking star. That's what they mean. Okay, yes. I mean,
was that right so far?
That's pretty accurate. I mean, it's a bit hazy with the computer and the film stuff, because for the most part the money was being made in film and television and then being put into my computer stuff, where I would then lose it. That's generally how it worked. Yeah. Co-star. That's the only part that I think is horribly inaccurate. They should say amazing star.
So they should just.
Is it finished?
Are you telling? Yeah, that's it.
What site are you getting this from? Where are you getting this information from?
CelebrityNetworth.com. Richest celebrities / actors / David Hewlett net worth.
Wow. Do they have us ranked by like how much money we have?
No.
Oh. I wonder. What Canadian YouTubers are there? What are the most famous Canadian YouTubers? Why don't you look up Linus Tech Tips? See what he's worth.
Let's see.
Did you ever watch him, Linus Tech Tips guy?
Yeah, I watched the video where he was with Hacksmith and he. Okay, my brain's not working today. I am sorry for like.
It was him and the Hacksmith. That's cool. What did they do together?
They cooled the CPU using fire.
Ooh, cooled it using fire. Okay, I have to look that one up. I don't know how that works, but okay.
From what I understand, liquid propane, very cold.
Oh, liquid propane. Oh yeah, no, that would be cold. Okay, yeah, very good.
And they vented it out and made it so. They made it so they have liquid propane gases all where they are, and.
Boy, I feel like that would be dangerous.
Well, they lit it on fire, so.
Yeah, that would do it. I highly recommend Pin. I think it's on YouTube. It better not be on YouTube, Captain Catherine. I went to the same university as tapping, says Mark. Oh, that's cool. I never got as far as university, I'm afraid. Probably convection. Hacksmith is having a rough time. I know, I saw that video, apparently. Again, I think a part of that is just this constant drive to be creating content. Do you watch Hacksmith at all? You must watch him as well, Vipo.
I watched with my dad, actually.
He's out near you. He's like in Kingston or something, isn't he?
I actually do not think that's close to where I am now.
Nowhere near you at all. Now I'm thinking about it, right? Because you've moved further east. You're right. Never mind. Forget it. What about a channel like that? Why don't you start a channel like that where you like blow stuff up and build things?
Well, I think I would have to be older, a lot older to do that.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you get started then? How do you do this? Okay, let me ask you this: are there other things that you'd like to do?
I do not know. I like to do. Okay, my brain is not here. I am so sorry.
No, don't worry about it. You've got. When we first talked, I think years and years and years ago, you were doing some Scratch programming, right?
Yeah, I did. I'm not doing that anymore. No.
So, but even then, it was interesting you were interested in it from the gaming perspective.
Yeah, I was just interested because that's making games.
Teardown is blowing stuff up. Teardown. Is that
that's a game? Yeah, that's the game that I stream.
Oh, okay. So that was the game you were... okay. That's very good. YouTube burnout is real from personal experience. There you go. True Game Data Live. So, True Game Data Live. How many... Like, how much time were you spending on making videos? And, like, how often were you putting videos out? What was it on YouTube or was it on Twitch? I loved Cube, too. I watched Cube way before I knew who David was and really enjoyed it. You really enjoyed it before you even knew who I was? That's amazing. I mean, that's another interesting story, okay? So, like, my friends and I were making little movies. Like, we spent our own money making little movies when we were 13 or 14 years old. And now we are paid to make big movies with, like, movie stars and crap like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's, that is,
Circle of life.
Are you singing The Circle of Life?
No, it just sounded like that's what it was.
The Circle of Life.
And then you help, and then you are kind of like helping other people get into like.
Well, that's the thing though, because I feel like if we can figure out between the ages of 10 and 16, if you can find something that you love doing and you focus on it, I feel like you're set. Like, you're just freaking set because you know what you want to be. You know how to be that you know how to be that, whether it's going to school or making films or building crap or filming videos or whatever it is. Like, I feel like if you could find something during that window, it's just so much easier. Like, I watched a lot of friends of mine in that age group who didn't know what they want. And they just got, like, some of them would just get stoned and do nothing or drink too much or party too much or, like, it was just because they didn't have anything. Like, I never wanted, like, yeah, I mean, I was an idiot too in many ways. But at the same time, I always knew what I wanted at the end of the day. I was never going to do anything that would jeopardize my ability to act. Like, I wouldn't go out nights before I had auditions. I would learn my lines before auditions. I did all the work and I did all the stuff I needed to do. And that just really helped me throughout. Well, so helped me out of school too, because I just didn't do anything at school because I didn't think any of it had any value to me because I was going to be an actor. But, so my teachers probably hated that I knew what I wanted to do. But I just think that having that kind of clear kind of direction, having that little compass that was pointing me in towards what I wanted to do all the time was just really, it's so great. It's such a great feeling because you're like, I'm going to be an actor when I grow up. You know what I mean? And then if you actually become an actor when you grow up, it's even better because you're like, hey, I said I was going to be an actor and I am an actor. And of course, if I was growing up now, though, I don't think I'd be saying I'd want to be an actor. I think I'd be saying I want to be a YouTuber or I want to be a Twitch streamer or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The number one lesson in business from Randy the Magic Man, who has about 1,000 businesses, is build relationships. There you go. So who do you know? See, look at that, Vibe. You're already there. You already know the guy from Stargate and all the nerds on all his fellow nerds on the Twitch stream. So there you go. I'll bet you if you found something that you wanted to do, there's probably somebody in the community that knows somebody. There's always a nerd who knows a nerd who could probably help out in some way, shape, or form. That's my guess. You know what I mean? I've found that.
Yeah.
Anytime I've reached out about something that I'm interested in, there's almost always somebody who either is a Stargate nerd or a sci-fi nerd, or knows a sci-fi nerd, and the connection is made, and then I end up getting to meet people that I wouldn't normally meet and that kind of stuff. So, you know. What's Wormhole? My middle son is getting into cybersecurity, just won a national contest with his school. Oh, Wormhole 42, that sounds cool. What's the contest? I gotta say, you want to, like, I can't imagine more fun than trying to break into computers and getting paid for that. I don't know, like that. Like, there are people who get paid to break into computers, who get paid to break into buildings. How cool is that?
It'd be fun.
Wouldn't that be neat? I just think it'd be kind of a neat thing to do. You know, there's that. We've still got those pen tester lab things. If anyone wants to learn how to do, computer hacking and stuff, there's this pen tester lab, amazing guy out of Australia, I believe, who runs this site, and you can go online, and it's all set up so that you can actually go in, and it'll say, like, your mission on this is to go in, find this file, find the information in this file, and return it as the answer to this task. But in order to get to that file, you got to, like, break into the computer, and it'll show you how that's done and stuff. It's really neat, really neat. So Pentester Labs, I would again, I'm not affiliated or anything. They very, very kindly set me up with an account so I could do it, and I have not spent enough time on it because I love it. Also because I'm doing a Google Analytics course right now, which I'm trying to finish up. Pen Tester Lab. Let's see how this works here. Pen Tester Labs. Where are you, buddy? Is that it? Is that the right one? Have they changed their name? No, that's not them. Pen Tester Labs. I'm pretty sure it's Pen Tester Labs. Let's try that. Yep, that's them. All right, I'm gonna put them in the chat as well, because while I think of them, I should let them know. There you go, Pen Tester Labs. You should definitely, everyone, go have a look at them. Go check out their website. They got some really neat stuff there. And it's designed all to learn that kind of stuff. Please, my aesthetic. Subscribe. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Hello back to you, PMA. Please, my aesthetic. I was learning about aesthetics in R programming yesterday. There's like an aesthetics section to the ggplot, which is used to create plots and scatter plots and bar graphs and all that kind of stuff in the R programming language, which is like the language of choice for like analytics and statistics and all that kind of stuff. It's so cool, so cool. You look like one guy from Stargate Atlantis, David Hewlett. That's a good point, Fancy Pants. I do. I look like the father of that McKay guy on Stargate. Okay, I've been in IT, including cybersecurity and solutions design, for 20 years now. Holy crap. There you go. Wow. There's also Metasploit. Isn't Metasploit that software you can use to, like, get into all sorts of stuff? Oh, man. You heard about Barnacles, right? Pup?
I have not. I've heard of Barnacles, but I haven't heard of anything happened to him.
That someone got his channel. Got his YouTube channel.
Oh, wow. Did he get it back?
He got it back eventually, but not before they took his channel. They turned it into some kind of like an Elon Musk crypto thing or something, and then deleted all of his content. Yeah.
Wow. Has he got his content back yet?
He's been uploading it, but he says that it's so slow, and also the dates are all off now, and it lost a whole bunch of the comments on some of the stuff. So, you know, oh wow. And an anonymous gifter just gave Fancy Pants 404 a tier 1 sub. That's very nice of them. Thank you, anonymous gifter. Anonymous tried to hunt me down in 2010, says Mark Lapointe. Wow. I would not want them chasing me. I got to say, I mean, I guess my experience is
I just want to quickly say, if you, like, can share, if you haven't, like, done anything big, why did they try to do that?
Yeah, why? What happened there, Mark Lapointe? Is it something that you're allowed to share? I'm not sure if you're joking, but it is him. Haha, Captain Catherine. Oh, yeah, no, I'm assuming they know. He is the same guy. He is the same guy. He looks like that Stargate guy because he is that Stargate guy. Just so I want to say. A future version of the same guy. Exactly. I'm like McKay in a future parallel universe thing. Yeah. What do we got? So I can't imagine. Okay, I sent you an email on it referencing your security. Oh right, yeah. I wasn't sure whether you want to share with if you want to share with the class. What the problem was. But it's McKay alternate reality, exactly. It's funny. I've always sort of been quite enamored with Anonymous, this hacker group Anonymous. I mean, I know that it's a disparate group of people. I know it doesn't necessarily it's not a centrally controlled organization, but I just there's something sort of, I've got a sort of a romantic idea of these able hackers going and hacking for good and righting the wrongs in the world and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure that's not always the case, but I certainly I sort of like that image. And I've since I began on even with the bulletin boards before the internet, when I was back on just BBSs back on the Commodore 64 or the 808.6 days, I was always looking up any of the hacking forums and stuff I could. I just thought it was absolutely fascinating. I was far too much of a chicken to do anything about it, but I was absolutely fascinated by it. Yes, Nightbot has reminded me and everyone that our friend Gimpy G is still not out of the woods, having burned his house down and had to
He got back in his house.
What was that?
I thought he got back in his house.
He's back in his house, but he's still got to pay for a whole bunch of stuff that he doesn't have anymore, right? So he's got two of the things that happened, his car and his van burned in the fire, but the insurance company claims that they weren't covered because they weren't in the house. Like, if they were parked in the garage or closer to the garage at the time, the insurance company would have paid for his van. And keep in mind, his van is a special van that allows, that can get his wheelchair in and out and all that kind of stuff. Like, they're expensive freaking vehicles, really expensive. And that's gone, and no one's paid for that. So he's still got to save up for that, and there's a bunch of costs that haven't been sorted out yet. So that's the. So please, if anyone's got a gift in their heart, obviously Gimpy G is the guy to go to with that. What is it? My college beta tested Microsoft Word. Ooh, that's cool. One of my most hated programs, I've got to say. Word drove me freaking nuts. I love Google Sheets and stuff now. I just think not Google Sheets.
Word.
You like Word?
We have to use it for school. I like Word.
Really? God, I much prefer the Google one. Much prefer it. It's easier to share stuff. It's not clunky and ugh. But again,
I got used to it. Thank you for the sub, anonymous
Aww,
gifter.
Anonymous gifters gifting anonymously a lot. Thank you very much. Someone is mysterious and kind. Thank you very much. I'm guessing that it's his house, not his car insurance, and the only house its contents were covered. Yes, but the irony, of course, being that if he'd been like 4 feet closer with the parking of the vehicle, he could have included that in the process. He thought the car was covered, or his parents, who originally set up the insurance, I believe, thought that he was covered. So, Google Drive. Pug dance. What about the Google Drive?
I think he's talking because we were just talking about like Microsoft Word or...
Yeah, so you like Microsoft Word. What is it you like about it? Do you find it easy to use?
I like the tone indicator things. So like if I'm using big words and I'm trying to like put it for a more casual, it says, hey, shut up, use small words.
Really?
Yeah.
What, it says like you're being too smart? You're being too erudite. Be more troglodyte. That means.
I'm not that smart.
But seriously, so it says like you're using too many words, or the sentence is running on, or so it's got a grammar check as well then.
Yeah, but in it, you can set it up for like what tone you're trying to be. Like if I'm trying to like put out a tone that you should choose me for this reason, like I can choose. Do I want to sound professional? Do I want to sound casual? Do I?
So it's got like an AI going through and checking your stuff for you? I didn't know that. That is interesting.
Basically just checking everything you do.
Oh, this is interesting. So Sysboy says there's a Have You Tried CryptoPad. It's like Google Docs and Sheets, but end-to-end encrypted without Google scanning your documents to target ads at you, which is true. So apparently they do the same thing with Google Mail as well, right? Gmail, same thing. While they claim not to be targeting, that they don't know who you are. They just know what you're talking about, so they can send ads to you. I had an incident the other day where we were at dinner with friends. We did not have our phones out. We had a long chat about rats, about the problem that they had with rats in their house, and how they built these different contraptions and stuff trying to. They basically went kind of like crazy, and they were like hiding in the basement waiting for the rats to come out, and so they could catch them and stuff. And like literally the next day, one of the first ads I got was about a miraculous new rat catching trap, and I was like, oh my god, I've never got anything like this before. Like, so it's, I mean, they would claim that they're so good they can predict what you're going to want to look for. I am not convinced. I'm not convinced. Something must have been listening to that, and it's not like it doesn't happen all the time. So, you know, and again, I'm not being conspiratorial. Like I'm not sort of like, oh, this is a conspiracy theory thing. I just think it's the nature of what you're doing. You're like, you know, there has to be a certain amount of data gathering going on. You've got a phone with a microphone and a video camera and sensors, and it knows everything you could possibly want to know about you, right? So, what else we got? Are you sure you weren't just talking about your Curiosities episode? Oh, I wonder. Actually, I hadn't even thought of that. I hadn't even thought of that. That's probably where it came from. I use it on my laptop and in my iPad. Work from all over the place, by which I mean the pub. I work at the pub. Sarah Owen works at the pub. Okay, yeah, and the car insurance probably. Okay, we've done that. I'm behind on some of these things. My phone knows me better than I do. Well, they're saying that the AIs are better are better at knowing what you want than you do in some cases. So, okay, business ideas. Come on, who else is? So who out there has started companies or wanted to start companies or has any business advice in general? I'm curious to know what people are thinking about. Thank you, Fraser Taser. It's Fraser Taser. That's an easy one to say. I like that. Found out you stream. Hope you're doing well. I am doing very well. Thank you. Yeah, mainly because I'm streaming. I'm enjoying the streaming very much, I must say. I'm chatting with my friend VibePup here, we're sorting out the world of business.
I just had to mute for a second because I'm playing DMZ and Call of Duty, and a guy just broke into the house that I was in.
And screamed and shouted?
Oh no, I just started panicking because I had a good gun. I died.
I died. Okay, I started my limited company to save money on taxes. Really? Alicia Lauren, what were you doing? What's the company? Talking about ads, I finished Breaking Bad for the first time, and YouTube Shorts, TikToks has been targeting the videos with some of them are funny, but some of them are just clips of the show. Oh, interesting. Okay. Huh.
Just want to quickly butt in here and say something.
Yeah, go for it.
I get that too. I haven't watched Breaking Bad. I haven't like searched anything up about Breaking Bad. I'm also getting stuff about Breaking Bad. It's just kind of like trending right now.
It's kind of memey right now. There's a lot of memes, a lot of Breaking Bad meme stuff. I got a great poster. I got a great Breaking Bad poster that I still have to put up. Where is it? I love this poster. It's just very sleek, simple, but very cool. I gotta find the right frame for it. For me, it's also the problem the company's listening to my mic. Yeah, I was. Oh, so Wolfpup, you're talking to. So our streamer. If I can move my little mouse in the right place. Our streamer was saying that DMZ and Warzone are what they cover, I guess, on their channel. Is that right?
Yeah, and that's what I was just playing and getting a little bit angry at.
Ha! Mark Lapointe still hasn't watched. You haven't watched Breaking Bad yet? Oh my God! It's a little dated now, probably because, to some extent, because of the fact that there are so many memes about it now. Like, you almost know too much about it already. But man, what a show! What a show! And it was not afraid to try different things, like different weird little camera angles and all that kind of stuff. But talking about business, there you go. Someone who started up a business selling meth. So maybe we'll avoid that one. Two of my friends had major plot points spoiled because of a YouTube video got recommended to them that had spoilers in the thumbnail. Yeah, I'm always on the watch out for that. Leadership. Exactly. Let's talk leadership. Better Call Saul was such a great follow-up. Haven't seen that at all yet. Haven't seen that at all. I've been waiting. I want the kid to get through all of Breaking Bad, but I don't think it's going to happen now. Like, I'm not sure that there's just too many other things to watch. You know? Oh, look, I've got my orangutan here again. It is nice to see you too, Fancy Pants. Blu-ray. I was looking at Blu-ray because apparently the Blu-ray laser, a nice blue laser that they have, can be used as a kind of a microscopic. You can use it as a microscope, basically. So you like fire the laser and you read the pattern that the laser bounces back, and you could turn that into a signal, which allows you to see what the laser is bouncing. I don't even know how. My mind is boggled, but I thought that would be kind of cool to use with the spiders. What else we got here? Leadership. Let's talk about leadership. There's a weird thing. I will talk about leadership for a second here. One of the things
Came back.
What was that?
I just came back. I want to say, I'm agreeing with the people in chat. Better Call Saul is pretty good.
What is?
Better Call Saul.
Are you watching Better Call Saul?
Yeah, I haven't even watched Breaking Bad. I just like them. I just like the. I don't want to sing it.
You're watching Better Call Saul, but you haven't watched
Breaking Bad. I like the music. I like the music.
Oh my God, that is shameful. Five Pup. That's shocking. You got to get back and watch the damn show.
I keep seeing the memes of the song, and I just kind of said, let's listen. So I just watched it one day, and it's pretty good.
Those actors are just fantastic. Have you started watching Last of Us yet?
No, I'm not gonna watch that.
You're not going to?
I am not the person to watch that.
You don't think so? Why? Because it's too scary, or because it's
I just don't really care about that.
Interesting.
And I don't really like watching shows where I have to pay attention to. I just kind of like to be able to go while watching TV.
You like to watch shows that you don't need to pay attention to.
Yeah, I like watching shows that
it's freaking zombies, for God's sake.
I just want to. This is a very fun story.
Yeah.
I'm watching a show. I'm not gonna say the name because it's not important. I was on season 3 the other day, and I think I zoned out so much watching the show, I fell asleep, and now I'm on season 7 of it.
So you woke up and 4 seasons had gone by.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice. I'm not sure about Last of Us yet. I'm enjoying it, but I'm sort of it's not that I don't think it's well done. It's just it's just very very depressing. You know what I mean? But it does make me want to play the game again. It definitely want to make. What does Cal think of it? Have you been watching it, Cal? Because Cal is a huge Last of Us fan. Naughty Dog.
I've seen Cal in the chat.
Yeah, no, Cal's been here. I'm just curious to know if she's around. I'd be curious to know, Cal, what your thoughts are if you're enjoying it or not. The TV show where you can zone out is what is it? Takeshi's Castle? I haven't seen that.
I would pronounce that Takeshi. I'm sorry if I just said something rude in a different language. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I am very sorry if I just said something rude in a different language.
The fungus thing is fascinating to me. These cordyceps. You've heard about, you know that it's based on a real fungus, right? The Last of Us?
Yes, I watched a video because
About the ants?
Yeah, it can't come to humans in
No,
our lifetime.
apparently not. But
It,
I will say this: they have these caterpillars. Have you seen the caterpillars so there's these caterpillars in like, I can't remember where it is, like Mongolia or something. It's sort of north. I can't remember. It's somewhere in China where these caterpillars get infected by this cordyceps sinensis or something like that, and it forces them to go up to the surface and stick their heads out, and then the thing bursts out of its head like it always does, and that's how they send their spores.
Do you remember those like spaghetti worms that like take over the crickets?
Oh, yes. Oh,
I remember that. I gave you nightmares.
I can even just thinking about it is the most horrible.
According to your burn, I gave you nightmares because of it.
It's true. They were like the little worm. Now they're in my head again. Oh God, they were horrible. I should ask my entomologist friend about that. When we do the laser spiders, I'll have to ask about that because he works almost exclusively with like crickets and grasshoppers and locusts and that kind of stuff.
I just want to say, if one entered your skin, it would just leave a tiny bump, probably.
If one of those cordyceps got into us?
If one of those because they took control of the cricket, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
If one of them got into us, they would be so small, it would just leave a little bump. I'm just I'm just leaving you something, so every time you see the small little like bug bite on your body, you're gonna be like, I'm infected.
Well, there's an amazing scene in the second episode, which I don't want no spoilers, but there's an amazing episode where they bring in this like mycelium expert, like this fungus expert, at the beginning of the outbreak, and it's just really well done because it's really creepy. So of course, naturally, being the nerd that I am, I'm like, look, Baz, it's a real fungus, and he's like, yes, Dad, we've been through this before. Because when The Last of Us came out the first time, we have friends who work at Naughty Dog, and they were telling us about how the genesis of this thing and how it was based on real fungus, or fungi. I'm not sure how one says it, but I like fungi because it's just more fun to say. And anyway, so one of the things I looked up yesterday was these cordyceps that grow out of these caterpillars.
I just want to say this. Search up The Last of Us on Google.
Last of Us on Google. All right, okay, I'm doing that right now.
Wait, pull it up on the stream and search it up.
Let me see if I can do that. I'm not sure if I can do that.
Don't watch the show, but if you pull it up on Google,
okay,
there should be a little button. Somebody said this in chat. Mm-hmm. You search up The Last of Us. Okay. I just typed it in.
Wait a sec. So
you wait a second on the page, and then like a mushroom pops up.
All right, let me see if I can do
and
this.
then if you click on the mushroom, like stuff comes up, and it like mushrooms come up out of the bottom of the screen.
Maybe this one. Let's try this. Is that it? Oh, there you go. Okay, let's see if I can do this. I'll move it down a little bit so we can see what's going on. All right, it's on my face. It's a good place for it to be. Okay, so if I just type in, what do I type in? The Last of Us. The Last of Us. There we go. Okay. Oh, there's a little mushroom there.
Yeah.
Do you guys see it? You guys don't see it, or if I cut it off in the thing?
We don't see it.
Okay, there you go. So just down at the bottom here, there's a little mushroom.
Now, click on the little mushroom.
You sure?
Yes.
Oh, weird.
Click on it again. Click on it again.
Oh, that's creepy, man. Or cool. They look like little brains, don't they?
Yeah. Okay.
What if I just keep clicking? What happens?
I don't know.
Going? How long can you click for? It's still going.
I'm just gonna say.
Growing.
Mushrooms can be they can spread viruses, right?
They don't spread viruses. They spread themselves, I think. I shouldn't say that. Maybe they do spread viruses. Well, I don't know, but I think they just spawn. They release spores, if that makes sense. Look at it. I'm still going. It's still growing. It's still going.
I think it can just go forever.
Really?
I think so.
It's never going to end? I want some more of those curly ones in the middle of the screen, though. I'm just getting lots
One
of
second.
the
I searched it
cordyceps.
up. I'm just gonna spam the button and see what happens.
That's what I'm doing. I'm spamming it right now. Spam, 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 spam.
I'm clicking a little bit faster.
I'm funky, 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 funky. I'm having a lot
Yeah,
of funky here.
none of the ones pop up in the middle because
Yeah,
then
that's it.
you wouldn't be able to do anything on the
I
screen.
don't want to do anything except have spawn funky. All right, okay. So that's as far as it goes. Just get a lot more of those little polypy
I'm
things.
also pretty sure if you search up Thanos and
Thanos.
no, one second.
Does it still do that? Thanos?
I'm gonna search up Chrome and see if it works.
It's like Thanos.
I typed in Thanos a
Thanos?
while ago.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, it used to do that thing where he like snap a finger or something, and it would like.
And then it would like get rid of the screen.
Yeah.
Also,
I
I'm
don't
pretty
see
sure
that
if you
anymore.
search up, I'm also pretty sure if you search up like do a barrel roll, the screen will spin.
Barrel roll? Barrel roll.
Yeah, do a barrel roll.
Play a barrel roll game, Google Tricks.
No. Just if you go to the chat, just type. Why is my? I have a. Just do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll. Okay, got it. Whoa! Oh, that's cool. There's 7 Google Easter eggs. Do a barrel roll 1,000 times? What? Oh
I think that works.
I would just go. I'd throw up. Do a barrel roll. What's ZZ do? No, ZZ doesn't do it. I thought they said that ZZ was there.
I just searched.
Do a barrel roll.
Something up. If you search up recursion, I'm gonna.
I said do a barrel roll 1,000,000 times. He didn't do it.
Okay. So type in the word that I just sent. It will always say that you like the. Do you mean this?
Ah, if I type in recursion.
Yeah.
Do you mean recursion?
Yes, I mean.
Recursion occurs when a thing is... No, it didn't do anything weird.
No, if you just... It doesn't do anything weird. It'll just keep saying, do you mean this?
But doesn't it always say that when you write that? But I see what you mean, though. In a way, that is... Yeah, I see.
If you click on it, it will fix itself normally.
So it occurs when a thing is defined in terms of itself or its type. Recursion is used in a variety of disciplines, including programming.
So if you search up Pac-Man, you can play Pac-Man in your browser.
If you type Pac-Man?
Yeah, if you search up Pac-Man, you get to play a minigame of Pac-Man in your browser.
Pac-Man. Oh, there you go. Oh, I used to love Pac-Man. Oh, yeah,
we can
there you go. I'm playing.
The mic a little bit, by the way.
Oh, it's the controls are hard.
I'm also playing it right now. Uh-oh. I have 3 chasing me, and I just got the thingy that does good things.
Oh, shoot. Oh, man, there we... Oh, I screwed up. I used to play Miss Pac-Man. That was the game I used to play all the time. I want to find that game. I had this game, this business game. It was called... Is it called Business Sim? Business Sim.
That sounds like a boring game.
Doesn't it? All right, start playing. Sign in. Just start playing. How do I start playing?
Oh, I did not realize, but the Pac-Man map is the Google logo.
Oh, it is? Oh, I didn't know that either. All right, I'm on the tutorial. It says I got to produce and sell 50 apples. How do I do that? Go to here. I go to Encyclopedia. I need to go to Encyclopedia.
I just lost with 4,480 points.
Produce sold resources. You can see the apples are produced on a plantation. You need water and seeds. Okay. I got water. I got seeds. What am I doing? Plantation? Is that... I click on the right thing? Apples. Encyclopedia shows you. Yes. Okay.
So if you search up a skew...
What's a skew?
Oh, 1 second. I'll type in chat. If you type in that, it will be weird.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Little bit of an angle. I like it. I like it. I like those little... I've always loved those little things. I've always loved those little, like, Easter eggy things.
Also, type in that. into Google, it will give you a funny little thing.
Let me guess, 42?
Yeah,
How did I know? How did I know that?
I don't know.
Because you've got to read one of my favorite books of all time, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I'm also pretty sure if you search up the loneliest number, yeah. I'm just getting this off of
The
our website
loneliest
now.
number. Was it the loneliest number? One is the loneliest number.
Also search up once in a blue moon.
Okay. Once in a blue moon. Okay. Nope. Nothing much there.
1 second. You might have typed it wrong.
Oh, once is a blue. Oh, I see. Once in a blue moon. Okay. Oh. What?
And it just gives you an equation.
What's the equation for, though?
I don't know. You have to figure that out.
Is that how often what's a blue moon? Is that the frequency of the light or something?
I think so. I think that is the frequency of a blue moon.
Really? Is that what we think it is? If you look up the Wizard of Oz Easter egg and click the first link, it makes your Google black and white. Ha! It's how often a blue moon occurs. There you go. It's how often a blue moon occurs. There you go. I knew it was either that or it was going to be some kind of a frequency thing of some sort. Once in a blue moon. Oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder how they got started in business. How did the Google guys get started? Like, how on earth do you come up with the idea of being a Google search engine? And how do you even start? Like, how do you possibly... How did they get started? I kind of want to know how they got started now. Could you imagine? They went from nothing to the biggest company basically in the world. Wouldn't you say? Like, Google's got to be like it's got to be up there, right?
Yeah, because if everybody is using it, then...
How did Google get started? Here we go. What does it say? Initially known as Backrub. Shut up. No way. It was the original company name was Backrub? Google, this can't be real. Is it real? Google began as a research project of Larry Page, I've heard of him, who enrolled in...
It can also help you tip.
What was that?
It can also help you tip. Like, if you search up, what is the tip for, like, $40, it will tell you how much you're supposed to tip.
Oh, yeah, which is useful because otherwise you got to work it out, which I try to do because I want my brain to work. All right, wait a second. Begin as a research project of Larry Page, who enrolled in Stanford's computer science graduate program in 1995. Okay. There, he met fellow computer science student Sergey Brin. The two stayed in touch as Page began looking into the behavior of linking on the World Wide Web. So do you think it was partially because they were there early? Like, but there were other search engines around back then. So I guess Larry Page conceived of a system that would crawl the internet to determine which pages were linking to other pages, positing, I guess that's assuming, that it would lead to the creation of a new kind of search engine. Together with Brin's math expertise, the duo created the PageRank algorithm, named after Larry, to rank the search results based on linking behavior. The two technologies formed the foundation for the world's most powerful search engine of its time, which launched on Stanford's private network in August 1996. So Stanford didn't own it to start, did they? Wow, so they incorporated with $100,000 in angel funding. So if you have a really good idea for something, you could approach people and say, I want money to do this. But what do you need in order to do that? I'm guessing like a really good business plan or something. Wormhole 42 wants the Google Last of Us fungi as a desktop screensaver. Oh, that's what I was saying about this thing. So this caterpillar thing. Wait a second. Hang on a second. So this Last of Us fungus that can affect caterpillars. The caterpillars are harvested every year and are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So a little caterpillar, they're so expensive because they're like, people think they fix things or something. They think they're like some kind of miracle cure to stuff, and I don't know, they have magic powers or something or whatever the deal is. But anyways, so they sell these things for an absolute fortune. But as a result, what's happening? If something's worth that much money, what happens to the caterpillars?
they get like bred.
Well, that's way smarter than where I was going. But yes, that's what I looked into. I was like, do you think we could breed caterpillars so that they could then infect them with this stuff, and then you could sell the caterpillars, that you could sell the fungus to people because it's worth so much money. But no, what's happening is yes, people are doing that because they're like, wow, it's worth a fortune. I should start. How do I make my own without having to go to the northern ass of China somewhere to crawl around looking for these caterpillars when I can just grow them at home if that's possible. Apparently, they're notoriously difficult to do. But what's happening, of course, is that they're getting over-harvested, right? So everyone goes like, oh my God, they're worth a fortune. So every year, people go out in hundreds and thousands to go and try to find these things and make lots of money finding, digging caterpillars up. And in the process, they dig them up. If they dig them up too early, there's no spores, so they don't get as many of them. And there's just so many issues that come with the idea of so they're basically over-farmed, over-harvested, I guess. So the idea, is there a way to farm them? And I started looking into how could you farm them? And one of the problems they have is that they kind of have to grow in this specific caterpillar, right? They have each fungus has its own entomological, has its own insect that it goes for, basically, in the jungles and stuff. And then one of them is this is not a jungle. This is on these plains in China, these cold frozen plains in China. But they not plains, they're in the mountains actually. But anyways, point being is, could you get the caterpillars, infect the caterpillars, put them in a little box down here, maybe keep them the right temperature or whatever, and farm them here? And then I found out that the ones that aren't as expensive, you can grow them on grain, right? So you just get a bunch of rice and soy and stuff, and you can actually grow these cordyceps on the grain at home, but they're not worth as much as these special Chinese ones that have been hand harvested. But then I thought, what if you genetically engineer the fungus that does grow? Is there a way to pull the genes from the ones that do grow on the rice and the soy and put them into these really expensive ones that only grow in caterpillars? So instead of only growing in caterpillars, they would also grow on rice and stuff, which would be so much cheaper and easier to do. And that's when that's when my wife, Mum, as we call her, when my son's here, as my wife pointed out that might be the start of Last of Us. If I start experimenting with genetically engineering cordyceps in the basement, that it could lead to disaster, is what she felt. So
it probably would.
Exactly. Or we could grow it on people. Exactly. We just get people and grow them on there. You know what I mean? I just thought it was kind of cool that these things, they literally control the animals that they attach to. And it's kind of beautiful. Did you watch that? There was a David Attenborough or Richard Attenborough thing that they did on the BBC, where the structures that grow out of these things are just gorgeous. I mean, talk about business. I would love to figure out how to grow that kind of cool myceliums and stuff and sell them. That would be really neat, because I just think that the myceliums are fascinating. This weekend I did the plant bioengineering course. Well, the class that they had on from the Odin this weekend, actually is James R. Gurney and I were in there listening to him chat about it, which is kind of neat. So I'm really hoping to get a second this week to I've got to do some little plates and culture the agrobacteria, and then you inject it into the leaves. I've ordered some very thin hypodermic needles, because I'm going to see if I can inject it into the veins of some of the plants and see if it has any effect on the rest of the plant that way. I just thought it'd be kind of cool. Anyways, James Gurney, so you are not a fun guy then. James R. Gurney's no fun at all. No, it's no fun at all. This is why I don't eat mushrooms. What are you talking about? You don't eat mushrooms, James? I love mushrooms. I mean, not all mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms when my mom cooks them because they're all slimy and gross. Well, you already blew up a solar system. It's true. New hair. That's me. Or a bad case of athlete's foot. Ooh, God. Ugh. You know the reason why, you know when your feet smell, you get that smelly feet thing. So that can also be caused by the same fungus that they use in cheese.
Oh.
Yeah. Some of the stinky cheese that I've eaten is apparently the same. It has the same, like, basically the same kind of fungus growing on the outside of it, or maybe that makes the cheese, I guess. I don't know. That was kind of interesting. Oh, Anook82's been playing Sim Companies for 6 months plus, and it's a great game. Well, maybe we should do like a, we should do like a let's play of can we all go on together? Is there a way to play like with a bunch of us? Now that we've got our Anook82, who's now our go-to business Sims or Sim Companies pro, can you play with a number of people? I just got here. Fungus and stinky cheese. Abadoo, you're welcome. You're welcome for that joyful discovery. Don't wear cheese socks. Thank you, Scully. That's good to know. Okay, wait a sec. So, Anook82, could you let us know? Is there a way to play? Where is this business sim? Let me get it for you. Let me just find that for you. Business sim. Business is a word that I often spell wrong. Don't know why. It's just one of those things. Nope, that's not it. Where is it? Sim, was it? Yeah, Sim Companies, that was it. Okay, let me just get rid of this and go. What the hell? What have I done? I've lost my window. I've lost my window. Where is my window? Is that the? What have I done with this? Okay, wait a second. Where's my little Twitch stream? There we go. Okay, here you go. There you go. Sim Companies. Okay, I remember being scarred from high school biology from the smell of formaldehyde. Yeah, formaldehyde's pretty gross. I worked as I played a coroner, and we filmed at an actual morgue, and the smell is extraordinary. I used to have to put Tiger Balm under our noses to stand the smell. So make CPU to sell to another player that used them to build laptops. Oh, that's interesting. The mobile application is cool. You can contract other companies to buy parts you need to make things. Really? Ooh, this does sound good. Okay, Anook82, so I'm going to have to sign up for this. I'm trying to get my jewelry business off the ground, but you know ADHD and anxiety. Yeah, I do know it. What kind of jewelry are you doing? Bite me, I'm Klingon. What kind of jewelry stuff are you working on? And what are the issues? Like, what are you finding what are you struggling with in this business venture? Alicia Lauren is a tattoo artist based in the UK. As self-employed, it cut taxes down, and I went limited. Okay. Do you need, like, what are the costs associated with that, Alicia? So do you need like a studio space, or do you go to people? What do you need, like a license for that? Because you're kind of injecting people with ink, right? Are there like rules for that? Like, because England's pretty big on rules, aren't they? I feel like England's always really big on dotting the T's and crossing the I's and all that stuff, as they would put it. Okay, what do we got here? First time chat says, would you rather have the ability to make any persons you want need to poo immediately? Or nipples that lactate on command and fire milk at the speed of a bullet.
Do the same damage as a bullet?
Well, no, at the same speed of a bullet, apparently. I hate these what if ones because it doesn't matter because none of it's ever gonna happen. All right, what do we got?
I wanna ask
that is an epic first time chat, I gotta say.
Would it like deal the same like damage as a bullet, or would it just be like milk?
Well, the speed of a bullet. If you hit something with the speed of a bullet with a liquid, it would liquids can like cut a hole in metal, right?
Like, can you just kind of
If you fire liquid fast enough, it's going to cut through metal if you want it to. Why is my son? Hey, buddy.
I'm home. I'm saying hi that I'm home.
Oh, you're home. Oh, my God, my son's home. I thought you were home hours ago. I just assumed you hadn't come down to say hi.
No.
How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Sorry, I must hug my son hello. How are you, buddy? It's good to see you. I'm so sorry. I just assumed you weren't going to come. You never come down to say hi.
I came down this time.
What do you need? You need an Xbox 5? PS5, right. He's working on the... Does anyone else have a PS5? Is it worth it?
Yeah.
You know? The Pooh comment is like that South Park episode where they had the brown note. Aha. He needs money. Exactly, Brim. That's my first thought. What kind of damage are we talking about? How many D6? So a first-time chatter just came in and said, would you rather be able to... What is it? What did they say?
People on command.
The ability to make any person you want need to poo immediately. Or nipples that lactate on command and fire milk at the speed of a bullet. I think they thought that they probably thought that they were here to disrupt, where in reality, there's always, there's science behind this, I'm sure. I was saying if a fluid is moving at the speed of a bullet, I would think it could do some serious freaking damage, right?
Yeah, but what would you do with that serious freaking damage?
Well, you could cut a hole in a safe, and then you could be like and put like a hole in the safe and go in and steal the stuff you want to steal.
Mm-hmm.
And your friend who took the other ability makes the guards need to poo. Right?
Like how we're thinking this through so much.
You don't think you're not a big fan of the poo?
No, I think I would choose the poo.
You would choose the poo thing? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, no! I'd have lactating nipples in a second.
Well, I'd make you poo.
Yeah, but not before I sliced you in half with my lactating nipples. See? This is the kind of scientific learning that's really important to have. I don't think I've ever had a reply this detailed. LOL. Yeah, see?
I need to ask this. Would it like hurt the same as a bullet, or would it just like?
What do you mean hurt the same as a bullet? Like, no, it's like if you fire a jet of fluid really, really quickly, like at the speed of a bullet.
That's how they do like some CNC machines.
Yeah, like CNC machines will cut metal with that. Yeah. Like it will literally, it will put a hole in your hand.
But quite literally, what is the point?
What do you mean what's the point?
What if you accidentally do it and kill
I don't,
someone?
Well, you probably would. That's probably how you discover your superpowers, right? Is like, with great nipples comes great responsibility.
But we need to think. Would it be infinite? Would you just have like many?
What do you mean many?
Would it stop? Is there like a limit?
They see so they can see who I'm talking to. That's all. Like they can see the side of your head. Thank you so much for being so cooperative. You're the best. You suck. Teenagers suck. I think VibePup is. I think his brain is blown at this point. The concept is just too much.
I would honestly rather neither.
You'd rather neither, yeah.
I think the power would be.
Stick in the Discord. What does that mean?
Talking about links.
Oh, I see. That was almost as epic as Putin pecs. I found that picture the other day. My Putin pecs. I just didn't feel like yeah, he's just such a jerk right now. I'm not even sure that I want to have his pecs. Okay. Business. We're talking about business stuff. No, wait.
How did we go from business to that?
Well, how could you use those? How could you use the ability to make people poo as a business? No.
Clinic.
The conservation clinic. There you go. See, he's already set up. He's got
in the chat.
making so much.
Nice.
He's not taking credit for that. No, forget it. Baz, we were talking about this about about streaming with VibePup, and VibePup was saying that he's reticent to stream with his friends because he doesn't know what his friends are going to do. Not because they're jerks or anything, but just because they're not streamers. That was a concern that you had as well, wasn't it? Like you've sort of chosen to play with your friends rather than play by yourself on a stream.
I wouldn't really say it's the choice of. I just don't want to stream anymore.
Oh, really? It's just not. You're not interested in that.
Like, if I had the opportunity to stream and I had the, like before I say this, I'm sure you could do really well, but I feel like I've hit the point where I don't think I have the opportunity to be a big streamer.
Really?
Like, I don't think I have the initiative. I don't think I have the
drive.
And
it's
also,
not important
it's
enough to
such Dad, stop.
I'm moving you closer to the microphone so people can hear you. There you go.
Such a hard business to get into.
Right. Okay.
Like,
Why it's not that hard to get into?
You've been streaming for what? And you have 102 viewers?
Shut up! You're not the boss of me.
Obviously, that's amazing. Like, you'll be her partner if you keep this up. But
partner
I'm just
what?
saying, like, for someone like me, when I just think there's no chance of streaming anymore, so that's the reason I stopped streaming.
So you stopped streaming because you didn't think you could do it?
I stopped, and also I just stopped taking interest in it. Like,
right.
It was, while I didn't enjoy
it wasn't what you thought it was.
People, it's tiring trying to entertain.
Well, there are definitely days I don't. There's definitely days when I feel
sorry,
am I up?
I'm not saying this as in like like you don't have to try to like. I don't enjoy streaming like I used to.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough.
I'd say a big part of it was because I didn't have any friends, and Twitch was my friend.
Aww.
Back then, and
yeah.
Now that I have more friends, I've sort of abandoned you guys, which I do feel bad for.
What? Why do you feel bad about that?
Just I feel like I get DMs from some people sometimes.
Yeah, saying you're a jerk.
No, saying like, "Hey, when are you gonna stream again?" I'm just like, I've been busy and I haven't really felt.
Well, that's fine. You don't have to feel. The whole point of this is to do when you like. I mean, the whole point of TechBandits is to you're here where you want to be. If you want to do gaming,
I understand then again the not wanting to play with friends. I had some friends that I was like, I'm not sure if I want to play with them on stream.
Well, there were some friends I could think of that might say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
In fact, they would definitely say the wrong thing because they were streaming, probably, right?
Yeah.
You know.
And
it's also you have to love it, right? You have to love doing it.
What do you mean?
I mean, there's no point in doing something like this unless you absolutely love doing it. Otherwise, it would just become like a chore.
I mean, I guess that's with everything, though.
Is it? Well, there's some.
And the big part of streaming is you can make a ton of money from it.
Well, can you though? Like, I'd be curious to know how that breaks down. Like, what the percentage of people is who actually make money. I'm guessing it's like acting, where there's like in the acting union, I know that it's like there is like this top 1% of actors who make all of the money. Well, the majority of the acting 100%. Make majority of the money, and so every year, and they're the people who basically end up paying for most of the sort of the acting infrastructure of the union and stuff, because that's where all the money comes from. And then the rest of the money comes from just little dribs and drabs from other people. I think that's probably the same thing with streaming as well.
Streaming, yeah, because like I think a big part of why I love streaming so much is because I saw these people getting paid a lot of money, having a lot of people they talk to, and
having
being
fun,
able to play games for their living, right? But I mean, I just feel like
it seems saturated.
Yeah, it seems like you look at Twitch, let's say for example, you see the homepage, you see a bunch of really top streamers,
right?
And you see like you know so much about them and like, oh my god, they're so famous. And then you look at any other category and you see how there's like
one person watching or whatever.
Yeah, like.
Let me go. I'm gonna go to the front
example,
cover of Twitch right now.
Like Twitch or something. You click on something like here. Let's go.
Hey, my friend 3D Maker.
Scroll down.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's go to.
I'm hearing the.
It's like you go to Minecraft or something, right?
Okay.
Or actually, no. A better example would be something like a smaller. Let's do League of Legends, not a smaller game.
Okay.
But it's like League of Legends. There's a bunch of really high viewer people. Like.
And how big are they?
In the 1,000 stuff like that.
Oh wow, 2,000 viewers, 12,000 viewers. Holy crap.
Yeah, like a lot of really high streamers, and then you scroll down for a bit, and then you hit 9 viewers, 33 viewers.
Right, that's us. Yay.
Like
I don't know what you do with that many thousands of people though. Like you can't have a conversation with them.
No, but you can have
But you get money and people throw money at you.
No, I feel like the point is that not that you have conversations with them, because there's no point to have conversations.
Right.
It's that you entertain them. It's less of someone to talk to. It's more of a I like seeing this person do this.
So it's more like a show.
Moist Critical talk shows chat.
Right.
That's why I think he's a very well respected streamer.
Well, and Moist Critical also. If I put I think I put my headphones to sleep. I think Moist Critical also has a different style than a lot of people. Like most people don't just chat the way he chats, right?
like he barely edits his videos.
I know, it's like talking about like
see him turn them on.
Yeah, literally, you see him reaching in and turning things off
And
and
then
on.
he posts and he gets really high.
But he's funny.
And
He's got a
clever.
good banter. Yeah, and clever. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I feel like it would be better to have a stream or a YouTube channel if you had something you were like pitching or you were.
If you were special, I would say you have a stream. Like if you have something about your personality that makes you.
But doesn't everyone have something about them that's unique?
No, but while yes, because there's so many people streaming, it's generic now. Like for me, for example, yeah, I have stuff that's unique. My dad's an actor.
What?
And I don't know. I grew up very fortunate, stuff like that. That would be unique for many people to me. But then but that doesn't matter about streaming at all. Like that doesn't take aspect on streaming.
So you're saying like you could do like, I see. So you could do like a son of an actor type thing, like or something like.
You can't because no one cares.
Right.
It's like the problem right now, I think, is with streaming and trying to get into streaming is more of the fact that why would they choose you? Like you want to watch something funny. You go watch Ludwig or XQC or Moist Critical.
Right.
Why? Who cares about someone doing this? Like,
and how many hours are there in the day?
Someone will always do something better, and it will always be more memorable. That's why I have to find something.
But that's why I think the niche thing is so interesting. Like if you've got something like, like Barnacules does like these programming things and that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, I feel like if you have something that you like doing, like these 3D printers who are they would be doing the 3D printing anyways, so they get to talk about the 3D printing that they enjoy doing. But
that has very small communities.
But in a way, that seems to be the best way to approach these things, is find something that is that little niche that people love what you do. And in many cases, they'd be willing to support you and to even maybe pay for services and stuff.
No, yeah. But...
I do agree, though, that I feel like that YouTube and these channels have gone from being that the actual videos aren't necessarily what's making the money so much as the businesses that sort of surround.
Oh, you don't make any money from this.
Really?
Like you could hear about I forgot his name.
But like, if you're in a band, it makes sense to have a YouTube channel, isn't it?
Kai Cenat?
Who's that? Kai Cenat?
Really, really big. Like one of the highest growth streamers. Like blew up very suddenly in 2020. One of the biggest streamers of all time now, but Twitch barely pays any attention to him. Like Twitch doesn't care about him. They don't put him on the front page.
Really?
They don't do anything about him. So he gets all of his money from, like he gets shout out by rappers. Like he's in I think it's Playboy Cardi's music video.
Who's that? Is that a YouTuber or
rapper?
Okay, all right. There you go. That's
Really
how hip I am. Okay.
But yeah, no, I'd say most of the money is sponsorships and businesses.
Twitch is not designed for discoverability. I would agree to that for sure. I mean, I get more people. If I stream live on YouTube, there are more people. I get more people. But, Baz and the Bandits seem to prefer, and Cal, seem to prefer Twitch, right? I mean...
yeah.
For this kind of stuff? I mean, hello, Jack Jasra.
The only reason I
Fabulous Jack Jasra. Someone else. Get the mic closer to Baz. I know. I tried to, but he moved away.
Sorry.
I drove him away with my parenting. Is that a little better? People hear you a little better? I love the Twitch community here on your stream, but it makes sense to stream on YouTube too.
I think that's the only reason that
You think we should do both? But you can't stream at the same thing at the same time, can you? I thought that was a whole thing. We weren't allowed to do that.
I don't think you can.
I thought Cal was saying you weren't allowed to do that.
You could be the biggest streamer.
You could be the biggest streamer, like 2-time back-to-back blockbuster video gamer, and your contract with Twitch canceled for some serious reason.
It's not a...
No, but that's interesting, though. I mean, I think that's one of the things that we're seeing more and more is people going like, wait a second. If Twitch changes their algorithm or YouTube changes their algorithm, you can be out of luck. All of a sudden, you go from earning huge amounts of money on a monthly basis to earning like nothing. One of the things I've been struggling to set up is not struggling, but that I've been enjoying setting up, to be honest, is the mailing list, because I love the idea of having direct contact with everybody, because then you know exactly who the hell cares about what you're doing and who doesn't, and you can keep people informed, and you're not tied to these platforms that may or may not be run by crazy people. I want to be the crazy person. I don't want someone else I don't want some other crazy person running it. I want to be the crazy person. I mean, I'm not saying I would leave Twitter or Facebook or anything just yet, because I feel like, unfortunately or fortunately, I kind of feel like that's still, I can still talk to people there. That's available to me. But I do worry that they're, as platforms, I find them a bit gross sometimes, all right. I think only Twitch affiliates can dual screen. Are we an affiliate? We're an affiliate. Yeah. I knew we were something. I don't know. There was something that they wanted us to, was it partner they wanted us to try for? They keep sending me invites saying you should try for partner. And then I do, and they say no. And I'm like, oh, come on. It's like, a lot of people. Come on, why don't you try being a partner? I'm like, okay, great, that sounds fun. And then they're like, yeah, you can't. You didn't stream enough this week or whatever it is. They want me to stream more than once a week, and I'm like, you're not the boss of me. But then, of course, if they're not the boss of me, then they, Again, what happens if they change the rules and say like, oh, you've got to stream 5 times a week instead of 2 times a week or 3 times a week or something? Like, I feel like there's too many things that can go wrong there. Yeah, definitely. Did I tell you I ordered gold filament so I can print myself an Oscar?
An Oscar?
I thought I should print myself an Oscar.
That's cute. Yeah, you should do that.
I found this really nice, it's called, I think it's Rep Wrap, and it's this beautiful, shiny gold filament, and I just thought I should definitely do that. Are you trying to get out of here? How are you doing? You got school? It's not a late start tomorrow, Mom said. I know.
I can make it a late start.
Don't you every day?
Just don't go to civics.
Which is civics? Was that like politics?
Worst class of all time.
Why? What's it about?
Canadian politics.
That is pretty bad.
So and I've already done every assignment, and you
Yeah.
can't assign anything else. So I'm just sitting there for 2.5 hours on my phone.
I'm guessing studying for chemistry on Thursday.
It's the entire science.
Baz has a science exam on Thursday, so I'm very honored that he's here talking to me, because really I know that he's just dying to get upstairs. And it's nice scanning. Thank you very much. Good night. It's nice talking to you, Baz. Thanks for coming down. I appreciate it. Normally he just disappears up into his room, and I've voiced my sadness at not. Oh, did you get some of the Spanakopita? Yeah, I ate all of it. You ate all? Oh, good man. It's delicious. Hello, Vipop.
I didn't know if you heard me yell. I just muted my mic and said be up in a second. I might have just unmuted my mic to yell that.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, we haven't heard you for a while, so maybe you've been muted for a while.
Oh, so I accidentally muted my mic. I have been talking.
Oh no, seriously? Oh well, we haven't been ignoring you.
Whoops.
James Argurney says this is going.
Yeah,
into
dinner
Baz's
is done.
future. Oh, you're going for dinner right now?
Yeah, I just am going to quickly finish this game in Call of Duty, and then I have to go up.
All right, because I'll wrap up soon, anyways. Because it's been a couple hours, and I should probably go back to being a boring non-streaming person for a little while.
I thought we were talking about business ideas this stream.
We were, but it's fun to have, like, I like going off topic too. And the business stuff, I think, is there's definitely some business stuff. We've discussed a little bit of business stuff. I mean, I would love a business. I don't know why, but there's something kind of cool about it. Maybe it's just because I have like a fantasy idea of what it's like, but I just think the idea of like having a business that creates something and, helps people out or whatever, like, I just think that'd be really just kind of neat, and like to be the boss and to decide where the company's going and doing all that kind of stuff. I just think it'd be kind of neat. But who knows? Maybe just this game, this corporate sim or whatever it's called, maybe the way to go. We'll have to try that. I'll have to try a game. I'd love to figure out if there's a way to play it with numerous people, because it'd be really cool if we could all go on and all set up companies and like do business together and stuff. I just think it'd be really cool. Oh, Jack Jasper has to get up early. Well, lovely to see you, Jack, even if briefly. Sleep well. And we look forward to more of your fantastic art. For those of you who are looking for a good art stream, you need to go check out Jack Jasper. Jack Jasper does some amazing art, real art, none of this AI stuff. Open a game room on Spadina. I wondered about. I mean, I don't even know if this is common. I won't name names, but one of my local comic book stores is closing down. And I thought, oh my God, I would love to have a comic book store. I would probably call it more like a manga cafe. I would have like manga, and you could come in and read manga and buy manga, and we'd have like coffee and stuff. Like, I just think imagine like a Tech Bandits lounge, but with comic books. And part of the reason for my like for this, terrible pitching. I love the idea of having comic books that people can read. Because I feel like comic books have gone from being these like really cool things you'd buy and you'd rush home to read them and stuff, to this like, you got to buy them and you got to put them in plastic and put cardboard boards behind them and you've got to collect them all. And so I'm trying to make a sort of a concerted effort now that when I see friends and talk to people about comic books that I like and stuff, to lend them out. Because I feel like, what's the point of having them all locked up in boxes and stuff? I mean, I know, yeah, they're worth a fortune, whatever. But that's only if they're in perfect, pristine condition. And none of mine are ever in perfect, pristine condition. I feel like I'd like a place where people can go read comic books and talk about comic books and grab a coffee and I don't know, 3D print a figure or something. I don't know. Like, maybe it's just it's stupid. But I talking about business ideas. And of course, everyone I run that idea by, they go like, well, it's closing because, otherwise, if it was really doing incredibly well, would it be closing? And I don't know. I mean, I think they do pretty well. I just think that there's other things going on there. But I just wondered about, like, how cool would it be to have a comic book store like Kevin Smith. Is Kevin Smith? Is that right? Have I got that right? Kevin Smith, the director, writer guy. Oh God, it would be so cool. I'm more into manga now than regular comics. Exactly. Most people are. I think I am too. I think the manga stuff is just fantastic and new and interesting, and there's definitely some great comic stuff out there. I mean, I'm a big Jeff Lemire fan. He's doing he was doing some Swamp Thing and a bunch of things as well, a Canadian guy. But yeah, Kevin Smith actually has a comic book store in New Jersey. I know, Captain Catherine. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if I had one? I just think that'd be so cool. I just don't know how you earn a living doing that. Like, it would be comic books. It would have to be like comic books, Tech Bandits, comic book Tech Bandits, like a little cafe, because I'm gonna want to eat, and oh my God, and collective cards, definitely cards, maybe not collectibles, but definitely trading cards. I want like Pokemon cards and Magic the Gathering cards and all that kind of stuff. Maybe board games. I don't play a lot of board games, to be honest, but I don't know. Maybe not. I don't want to spread things around too much. I feel like comic books and manga for sure, and then like maybe bubble tea or something. I don't know. Like, just something like that would just be kind of cool. See, there you go, Captain Catherine. You start the coffee shop. I'll do the comic book part, right? Comic book coffee shop is a great idea, especially if you can be reading the comics instead of just buying them and putting them in plastic. This is not a comic book. I mean, yes, if you want to be a comic book collector, I think you order them online. You get them, fresh off the print in pristine condition. Also, I'd like a place where you can go and you can like, hey, have you read this one? Here, look at this. And you read that. Like, buy, like, you know what? You do it. Okay, so here you go. Let's talk about business. Business idea. Here we go. What if you start a comic book subscription cafe? So it's like a club, like a community. It would be like the comic book collective, and you have a bunch of comic books, and the money that you get from people in the neighborhood and online or whatever. I mean, whoever. Maybe there's a Patreon. I don't know. And it's a place where you go and you geek out about comic books, and you get cool food, and there's like a subscription on a monthly basis, and that's what covers the buying of comic books that people can read in the store. So you'd have a certain amount of breakage. There'd be some idiots who probably would try to steal the comic books or whatever. But I mean, but within reason, for the most part, you have, you just have the comic books there, and they can read them and look at them, and you could discuss them and stuff. Like, you could have art classes, you could have 3D printing classes, you could have all sorts of stuff going on there. Just like kind of cool to have like a community makerspace comic book shop type thing. It's getting bigger and bigger, and poultry farm, a private comic book library, membership only. That's interesting. But you also do. But this is the other thing though, is I also want it to be open to everyone because I don't want people to be not allowed in because they don't have any money. Like, I feel like, is there a way to just have enough coming in? This is why I suck at business, by the way. But is there enough to have enough coming in that it would support some people who couldn't afford it as well? How about that? I'd like to buy a block of land and make it the awesomest place. Yeah. Wouldn't that be cool? I like, that really is like, I'd like to buy like an old like military base and turn it into like just a geek central. How cool would that be? Maybe my garage. Wait a second. I wonder what the zoning rules. Does anyone live in Toronto? Know what the zoning rules are? Like, could I turn my garage into a comic book cafe? I could just start with my own comic books. Like, I got a bunch of comic books. I just put them out. People can, read them if they want to read them. And I'll put like a cappuccino machine in there, and you just like pay to have access to the cart. And the comic book store is separate from my house, and there's a dog that would attack you if you tried to get in the house anyway. So, I mean, maybe that's the way to go. There's a manga library in Montreal. I know, I've been there. Gaminator, I love it. So, yes, the Otaku, is it Otaku? Otaku, yeah, the Otaku Lounge. We went there. It was freaking great. And the first thing I said to the guy was like, when are you opening one in Toronto? Because I want this in Toronto. It's fantastic. It's got the library and it's got it's the best. Unless it's zoned for commercial. It might be zoned for commercial because it's in an alleyway. Like, we have an alley at the back, and the other side is commercial. So it's possible it would be okay. I want to buy a Cold War underground bunker and turn it into a hotel. Wow, that is cool. Cal, do lotteries for rare cards. Lotteries usually pay for themselves and then some. Ooh. So every month, you'd have a lottery. You'd open Cal. See, this is why Cal is a genius. Cal, you got to get to Canada. Let's get this started. You only need a hygiene license depending on your city. So no artistic license, which is why you get these super bad kitchen wizards who are people who tattoo from home. I also just rent a space in a studio. Oh, that's cool. So that's Alicia. Alicia's doing tattooing. Was letting us know about that. That is cool. Seems like you'll need a stadium-sized library for coffee, comic book, video game, makerspace, etc. You'd probably need a big space, or need like or as I would put it, a smart space. So if you had a space, so I would love to, okay, let's do some dreaming. First stage of engineering is dreaming. So let's say you start with the garage and you use that space. If it's something that people like, you maybe open a real space somewhere else. I hate paying rent. It'd be nice to own a building. But, but the idea that you could you start in a garage. It could be the comic book garage. And then potentially, if it did do well, maybe you could add a couple of, of those shipping containers on top and create another level that could be the library where you do your reading of books. And then below is the sort of the studio space where you can do some, we could do some tech banditry. The Tech Bandits Comic Book Collective. I don't know. What would you call it? I don't even know what you'd call it. So I want to buy, okay, what else we got here? Lotteries. I love the idea of a lottery. I think that's genius. Oh yeah, like bingo style events, but it's a lotto or a raffle. You need a license for lotteries. God damn it. You need a license for everything. My computer repair shop used to host Super Smash Bros. Tournaments. That's brilliant, Wormhole Extreme. Wormhole 42. My computer repair shop used to host Super Smash Bros. Tournaments. Yeah, see, that's the kind of thing. It would just be cool to have a space that... Look, I wanted to do that with this place. But as my wife pointed out, having people coming and going from the basement is just kind of creepy. So, but coming and going from the garage, now that's a whole other story. Or you rent a space. I mean, maybe you just rent a space and it's just better to keep it distant from who you are and where you are and all that kind of stuff. But then there's just a yet more money you've got to, like, the advantage of the like, I looked for spaces for Tech Bandits because I thought I want a place that I can go and just do tech banditry and have it all set up, and the kids can come in and go kids and parents can come and go as they saw fit. I'm really excited about the community center that we're going to on Friday. We're going to this Jimmy Simpson community center in downtown Toronto, and don't show up because I don't think they're going to let you in unless you're a member. But the idea there is to talk to a bunch of kids there about 3D printing and stuff, and then I'm hoping to God hoping to God that supply chain issues don't continue and that I'll have a pancake bot before Friday. If not, I'm literally using the griddle and a squishy bottle, which could be fun too. But anyways, and that they have a space there. I mean, I suppose you could do, maybe if I was less of a control freak, you could just bring comic books to that space and then let them use it. I just kind of like the idea of a place that you could go to that's your own space. So, all right, what do we got? When are you going to stream your genetically manipulating some poor plants? Yeah, you mean when am I going to mangle a bunch of plants? I wasn't sure whether I'd live stream it or whether I'd just like record bits of it, because I just don't know is it going to be that interesting watching me do that? I mean, maybe. I'll give it a go if you want. I'll do a lot of running out and running back in with like boiling fluids and things because I got to do the don't I have to do the whatever it's called, the what do you put in the Petri dishes? The broth, the something broth. Maybe you contact PancakeBot owner who could rush you one. No, PancakeBot owner, I think it's Miguel, I believe is his name, is actually being fantastic about it, but it's just the shipping is just really just crappy right now. So, substrate, yes. Is it a substrate? It's called something. Agar. It's an agar. That's it. Agar. Got it. Oh my God, damn it! I was going to say I beat James R. Gurney, but I didn't. It's the LB agar. There you go. So that is what I'm growing. Is it LB? Is that what it is? That I'm growing the agrobacterium on? Is that, I believe. So I think you grow the bacteria in the Petri dish. You loop it off with these little scoopy things that you suspend it in fluid of some. Is it just water? Maybe it's just water. And then you sort of force that into the leaves of these poor unsuspecting plants. I thought I would. Don't tell Jane. I thought I would do the tobacco plant that we got given. They're quite a hardy plant that's apparently just good for this kind of stuff. So they sent me this beautiful tobacco plant. So that obviously I'm gonna do that. And then I'm going to. I thought I would try some of the bamboo we have here because I've got like a bunch. Every time the bamboo gets a little out of control, and I usually buy I have this thing with Jane where like every year we're together, I buy a little bamboo and we put it. So I've got a forest of fucking bamboo at this point. Ooh, excuse my language. God, I'm swearing today. Luckily, Vibe Pup's still eating. I've is he? Let's double check that. No, my headphones are dying. My headphones are dying before I am. That's pretty good. Look at that, 2 hours and 20 minutes, and my headphones are dying. That's not a good sign. And also, I'm not. I can't remember what I was saying now. I've completely lost track. Searchsoul79, thank you very much. 3-month streak. Wow, people are subscribing. That's so funny. I don't know why I find that surprising, but it's just lovely. Thank you. Comic book cafe. I just think that would be so cool. Like a manga cafe, maybe. What's in the agrobacterium? Some kind of interesting plasmid. Yes, it's it's a plasmid that in the plasmid is some kind of gene that triggers a red protein. James Gurney will correct me while shaking his head and rolling his eyes, I'm sure. But yeah, basically it makes the green leaves go red where you put this stuff. It's kind of neat. All that swearing, I know. Gompling, gonna edit that into all my Atlantis DVDs. Yeah, gonna have to. And now a few words on leadership. Okay, what is the so this was really fun stream. Oh, good, Captain. Thank you very much. I mean, I know we didn't stick to business that much, but the business thing. I mean, I'm gonna throw a quick thing at the business thing because I am interested in this and I do want to at least touch on a few things. There's a few things that I thought were really good points that people brought up about business. One of them was like choose a project you're passionate about, which I feel like is a no-brainer. But like I loved acting and I loved making films so much that it never felt like work. Even when it felt like work, it was exciting work. You know what I mean? I'm getting old and jaded now, and now it's, unless I'm working with, Guillermo del Toro or doing episodes of C with Jason Momoa. It's just very difficult to get excited about these things. No, I mean, I still love what I do. I still love doing it. I've always said I love acting. I love it. I love being on set. I know there is nowhere I feel more alive than on set. But the whole business of acting I find kind of icky. The whole industry itself I find just a little icky. Especially during award season. It's just, unless they're giving awards to Guillermo del Toro, then I love them for that. All right. So choose a project you're passionate about. Makes sense. Surround yourself with the right people. And the right people, I got to say, are people who are smarter than you. It's very easy to surround yourself with people who don't know as much about things, and then they make you feel like you're superior. And it's very easy to do that as a egotistical nerd like myself. It's much better to surround yourself with people like James R. Gurney and Cals and Jack Jasras and such, and the rest of you for that matter, who know more, because then you learn stuff all the time. It's like talk about, I'll get to this in a second, but talk about embracing failure. Not knowing something is great. Because if someone can explain it to you, it means you just learned something. Like if you're wrong about something, and you're corrected, you've just learned something. So, I love having smarter people in the conversation than me, and it's not hard. You'll find. Know your customer inside and out. I thought that was interesting too, because I feel like there's a lot of, especially in the film industry, people make films hoping to find an audience, and I think I worry sometimes that they're making films for themselves then, which is great, except the films are expensive and they're just not really meant to be that personal, unless they're made for like nothing. So like A Dog's Breakfast, which is entirely personal. But yeah, knowing your customer, and I think it's an interesting point actually with A Dog's Breakfast. A Dog's Breakfast was this little silly film that I made with my friends from Stargate, and I made it for the Stargate fans. Like that's what I made it for. So I knew that was my audience, and I didn't expect it to go beyond that. It strangely did, but I just thought only a bunch of Stargate nerds and me would enjoy it and laugh, and and I thought I made a film that I made a film that just would make my dad laugh. So speaking of films, people should watch. You should go watch The Swearing Jar because my wife made that and it's freaking great. Kate, my sister, both in life and on Stargate, also wrote it, and it's freaking amazing. Okay, so that's called The Swearing Jar. It's available, I think, streaming now, so you should all go watch that. Okay, know your customer inside out. Okay, so be financially prepared. This is another interesting one. It's like a lot of people like jump in and then go, it's going to cost how much? Which makes a huge difference. So, all right. So know what you're getting into. Another side of that, which I thought was really cute, was someone said, make absolutely sure that you're not losing money on every sale. This was TJ Alcott said, make sure you're absolutely sure that you're not losing money on every sale. That was a quick end to my son's first business venture when he was in 5th grade, LOL. So the idea that you're selling stuff for less than it's costing you to make is not generally a good way to go, because you'll lose money. And I am, as silly as that sounds, there have been many times that I've done the math after some business transaction and discovered that I've completely screwed myself. So, all right. So what's the other points we had here? Have a vision and set goals. This is an interesting one because, I constantly sit down with Tech Bandits in my head and go, what the hell is Tech Bandits? What am I doing? Where am I going? How do I set goals if I have no idea where I'm heading with this stuff? And I constantly beat myself up about this. So then I just kick back and just try to enjoy it because it's just so much fun. But but I'd love to figure out a proper vision for where this should be going and how. Because once you know where you're going, it's much easier to figure out how to get there than it is to sort of go like, I don't know, see what happens. And maybe that's part of the fact that because I don't have to. I mean, like the reality is I'm very lucky in that I guess I don't have to do this stuff. I do this stuff purely because I like doing it. The acting is what pays the bills, and so maybe if this is what was paying the bills, I'd have to have a clearer path on it. But anyways, set goals. The other thing about the setting goals as well is that it's all the planning in the world. If you don't do anything, what do they say? Plans without actions are dreams. And I think I always find myself going like, I got big plans, kid, but you actually got to do something. And like, so, that sort of leads to the last one that they pointed out, which is get started, which is just like, just try it. Like we live in this world now where you can start a company. you could start doing something and then figure out what's working and what's not. Like that's part of the beauty of it, right? Is that you can iterate. Like, don't be afraid to fail. If you got an idea for a company, start it. Hey, who am I talking to? I should start my comic book cafe in the garage tomorrow. And my wife will have my guts for garters. What do we got? Have a vision, set goals. What do I say? Embark on a lifetime of learning. I don't know. Like, I mean, I feel like I'm already there on that. Like, I just never stop learning. There's always something else you can learn about stuff. You never know everything about whatever subject you've got. So I feel like I'm constantly surprised at stuff that I didn't even know existed. So it's just kind of, I think those are just some great little business tips. There was one, everyone was saying like after school jobs are a great way to go. And Baz, as I say, has been working at the comic book store for a while. So he's sort of got a sense, you start to get a sense of just what money is and what it takes to earn it, which I think goes a long way. Some other points. Is there anything else? Yeah, so that's it. There's just a few of the little tips that came up on social media and stuff, which I really enjoyed. I listen to a lot of podcasts about business. I don't know why. I love stories about how people built businesses. I have no idea why I find them so interesting, but I love the story of like, they had this idea and they did this, they did that, and they figured out how to do it, and all of a sudden they've got a big company and a giant office space, and they're having fun. So that's for some reason I like that approach to stuff. $1 million isn't hard to make. Keeping $1 million is hard. They say in the film industry, how do you make $1 million in the film industry? You spend 10 million. That is. All right, I have a doggy nuzzling me as we speak. Let's see if we can see Zaza. Hello, Zaza. How are you, darling? How are you, my darling doggy? I'm gonna wrap up.
That does have a different meaning.
What was that?
That does have a different meaning, what you call Zaza.
Zaza?
Yeah.
Zaza. Why, what's Zaza? Was that something was that like some terminology I don't know? Is it some old band stuff that I don't know?
Well, I'm gonna search it up and let's pull up
Oh, not the Urban Dictionary. I'm always saying the wrong thing in the Urban Dictionary.
It means weed. Like it means like exotic weed.
Zaza?
Yeah.
I called my dog exotic weed. Well, she is kind of an exotic weed. She's in the way. She's always in the wrong place. You know, she's on the sofa. Really, I've never even heard of that term before. Ooh, exotic, lethargic, Galago, says Galagoo. All right, folks. I'm actually gonna wrap up. I'm gonna go back to my boring life. Yeah, let's try to. I'm gonna have a look. VibePub, if you get a second, have a look at this company sim thing, because it could be kind of cool if we all got on and started like building businesses and try to take over. It'd be kind of neat.
Is it free or like what? Where is it?
I think it's free. Yeah. Is Cal out of here? Was Cal's leaving us as well?
Wait, can you tell me like where should I go to play?
Oh, I can tell you. I'll tell you where to go. All right, let me see. You can go to. All right, let me see. I'm trying to find it. Trying to find it. Is this it? Here you go. I don't know if it costs anything. That's a good point. Actually, let me just see. Well, let me know if it starts charging you, because we'll have to look into it. But here you go. I'm going into your Discord. I'm sending it out on Discord right now. Dun, dun, dun. All right, VibePup, I have sent you the link. It's called simcompanies.com. I will put it in the chat as well, just so everyone's got it. There you go. Oh, hey, do we have like a thing for the mailing sign up? Do we have like a? Do you know if there's a Cal? Do you know if there's a thing for? Is there a whatever it's called, like a shortcut for the mailing list thing? Did I ever do that? I wonder if I did that. The mailing list of awesome.
Oh, it's an idle game.
It's a what?
It's an idle game. I just like planted apples, and now I have to wait an hour.
No. What? Seriously?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, the MailChimp thing. That's what I mean, wormhole. All right, let me find that. Let me go find that thing. I got a link here somewhere. Cal's like, what are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about, Hewlett? All right, here I go. Hewlett. Nope, that's the wrong one. That is Twitch, not Twitter. Thank you. All right. Do I have a mailing list of awesome awesomeness? I do somewhere. Where's the link for that? Mailing list of awesome awesomeness. Where are you? Ah, blah, 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 blah. God, I do a lot of tweeting. I do a lot of tweeting. I thought I saw a tweety. Where is it? We go. No, somewhere there's a mailing list of awesome awesomeness, and I got to just find. There we. Is this it? Yes. There we go. Okay, so if I do this, I think this is the right one. If it's not the right one, I apologize. But here, I believe, is the link for the mailing list. How's that? There you go. I'll add a command as soon as you post the thing. I think that's the link. Let's just check. Yes, that's it. Yes, that is the link. Thank you. Actually, Cal, yeah, if there's a way to add that, that'd be freaking amazing. And everybody, huge thanks to Cal. Because Cal's here all the time. Cal is here a terrifying amount of time. But it's okay because we're going to start a comic book cafe together in Toronto. It's going to be great. Just after we make tons of money by doing our own version of, what's it called? What's that show? That one with the Cameo? As soon as we set up our own Cameo. And, oh my God. Oh, that's the other thing. Oh my God, I totally forgot. So one of the reasons to talk about business is I want to do a business contest. I think we should do like a Tech Bandits business contest. We have to come up with a really good business idea. And then we'll decide on which ones we like the most. And then we'll like, you know, give them some free web hosting and some money or something. What do you think?
That'd be cool.
Wouldn't that be neat? I just think it'd be kind of neat to have like, maybe I could give it to myself for coming up with a comic book cafe idea. I think that might be unfair. But but I'm in charge. But no, seriously, I just think it'd be kind of fun to just like get people's. Now, here's the question though: do we do something specific? Do we say like it's got to be a business that does something like whatever, or does it have to be? What's the best approach? Would you say? If you were like, what would interest you in the way of a business contest? What would make you join?
I actually don't think anything would.
Really? Would there be a prize that you would get that would entice you into doing it?
I actually don't think so. I don't think I like have the skills to do that.
Well, no, of course none of us do. That's why you do it. So you learn. So you figure it out as you go along. Well, maybe we need to be more specific then. Like have something specific. Like maybe it's a stream channel. Maybe it's a business. Maybe it's an idea for a smart YouTube channel or something that you could get paid to do or something. What about that?
That would be cool.
You come up with all right, we got to think about that. So if anyone's got ideas, let me know. I've given you the mailing list of awesome awesomeness. There's also the Discord, which you should most definitely go and check out, which is Nightbot's already done that. It's the Iron Ham TV Discord. It's Iron Ham, and it's actually called I should change that too. It's actually the Iron Ham and Tech Bandits TV a Discord chat now. Baz very kind to let me have it. But something geeky. I agree. Nixie Geek, exactly. Hello, Nixie Geek, by the way. Sim Companies is a blockchain. Welp, Sim Companies is blockchain? No, is it? No.
No. Probably.
But wait a second, does that mean we get crypto money out of this? Learn how to be an engineer, not the tech skills, but the soft skills. Whoever wins gets a free business management class. Not from me. I mean, like how to fail in 20 steps. Not even 20, just 2 steps for that matter. Or just 1 step. The first step being to talk to me. It's your first big business mistake, I think is probably it. Yeah, we need all right, well, Vibe Pup, do me a favor. Think about it. And think about if you have any good ideas on a business contest. And actually, you know what? If you've got friends, if you've got any friends who are good at making money or something, ask them what they think would be good for a contest. See what take a poll of your friends and see if there's a way of enticing them into a business contest. And I'll do the same thing on Discord. I'll see what else there is out there. Maybe they could win a pancake bot. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. All right. Wolf Pup doesn't have friends. I find that hard to believe, Wolf Pup. I've met one of your friends. They were streaming with us.
Oh yeah.
What happened to them?
I have not talked to them in a while.
Well, because they're in Ontario, right?
Yeah.
There you go. That's the problem when you move is even though you're virtual friends, for some reason, they just like you're in a different zone, you know? All right, Wolf Up. I'll be your friend, bro. See, there you go. You got like a ton of friends. You got like, how many people are in here? 89 friends right here. All right, except maybe not Cal. Cal's pretty tough. She's pretty selective in her friends, I think. I get the feeling that Cal's like, yeah. Cal probably has a subscription for friends. Like you have to actually like pay to be a friend of Cal, I think probably. Thank you, Cal. We love you. Everybody, thank you very much. I'm going to wrap up. Be safe, be kind, be brilliant. And until we geek again, I will say cheerio and huzzah! Thank you, everyone. Talk soon. Goodbye. Now I have to figure out how to stop the stream. How do you stop the stream? I'm trying to stop it. Where's the button?
Press the button that says stop stream.
End stream, actually. That was the one I'm looking for, I think.
End stream.
Right. Good night, everybody.